started. My name is Brianna Sims. I'm an executive administrator at iLeverage. I'm also Jeff's right-hand woman next to Emily. I want to bring up Jordan Thompson. He's going to get this party started, and I'm so happy and grateful that you guys are all here safely in one piece. Thank you for coming to our first live event since all of this COVID madness. Jordan, please come. Please give Jordan a hand, everyone.
All right, good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Good? We up? Weather up? There we go. Before we go in, obviously, thank you guys for taking the time. It is, a nice Saturday morning. Maybe some of us like to sleep in or watch some cartoons. So we're definitely we got one over there. So we're very appreciative you guys took the time. Parking wasn't the best either. But I'm definitely very excited. I'm not going to go too in depth of what we're going to go over today. But we do have a lot of exciting things, potentially life-changing, if we're being honest. But anyways, to kind of set the tone for today, we're just going to have a little company overview just to go on what the future is, what our vision is, and what to expect.
We would have never predicted the world we live in today. A worldwide pandemic, record-breaking unemployment, and the transition to a virtual environment has changed everything we considered to be normal. The aftermath of this new way of living has challenged every generation at a high level. We are all searching for a sense of control, but it may seem more difficult than ever to start preparing for your financial future during these times of uncertainty. iLeverage has the solution. iLeverage has strategic alliances with some of the world's largest and respected companies, identifying which products best suits a client's needs and objectives. The iLeverage financial strategy is based on 5 important steps. 1. Manage your money wisely. Educate yourself on finances, debt, taxes, and expense management. 2. Proper family protection. Insurance protection for life, health, and understanding Medicare for you and your family. 3. Accumulate wealth. Begin long-term savings. It must outpace inflation and minimize taxation. 4. Revisioning retirement. Set future goals, financial objectives, and planning a successful strategy. 5. Preserve your estate. Understanding wealth transference, avoiding probate, and maintaining privacy with the use of life insurance and trust. We don't know what the future holds for us. Unexpected challenges can arise at any time, and while the pandemic has shown that we are capable of adapting to unforeseen challenges, how can we set ourselves up for success in the future? An iLeverage agent can help support you in achieving your financial goals and actualizing your dreams. Connect with an agent today and let's start planning your future.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited. There's definitely, especially with the pandemic, right? A lot of businesses didn't really do too well, and some you can say were surviving. So it's definitely an honor to be a part of something that is thriving, wouldn't you agree? And I'm definitely excited. I don't want to spoil, right, because we have so much amazing things that we're going to go over, but one of the things that I always thought was a really good point is that the average millionaire has 7 sources of income, right? So to have another source and potentially even more, as you guys will see later, is just something really exciting. And to really look in the future instead of negativity, a lot more positivity, right? But anyways, up next, we have Dondi. Dondi, if you haven't met him, he's an awesome person. Obviously, he's very adept when it comes to the business world. He's also not just serving in the business world, but also did serve our country as a Marine, so we're definitely very grateful to have someone with great integrity, very hard worker. And if you talk to him, obviously business is great, right? But he's a great family man, very loving person. I always learn something from him as well. He's very technical, probably one of the most technical people you ever meet. He has awesome presentations. I wish, I knew him when I was in high school because I would have him do all my PowerPoint presentations. But without further ado, we have Dondi Reyes, and I can't wait to hear what kind of nuggets he's going to drop for us.
Hey, you all ready for today? Oh, man. I'll tell you right now, this whole group here, a lot of folks in this room right now, helped put this together. So give them a big hand, right? It's quite amazing because When you see folks work together, you blend with them, you bond with them, they become family, and you see the struggles, you see everything in real life, real time, right? But I will start off, I want to welcome you all to Power Saturday, first of all. Power Saturday, you'll see why we call it Power Saturday in a little bit, but I want you to think about these things right here. I wrote these last minute because they came to heart, came to mind. But consider the challenges of the past year, but through a different lens. We all went through something. This past year was a struggle. The circumstances, situations have caused pain. How many of you experienced pain or struggled this past year? I mean, my heart is in all sorts of places because I have folks in this room I haven't seen in a year. And when I saw them, it took every bit of me to not break a tear. And I get choked up about that because I really love the people, not just in my agency, but in this entire company. But think about the circumstances that you went through, survived through. It pushed you to evolve and grow, right? Build resistance, forge progress, but ultimately blesses your life. Well, I feel like I'm preaching right now. But ultimately, it just bless your life. You gotta get word. I will tell you that this company is different. So really, if you guys were in Vegas not too long ago, I gave a presentation on, multi-levels are figured out. I don't even like to say that word. Don't compare us to that. We are a different breed. We're a different company. I want you to have that mindset because what this company has done in the past year is absolutely amazing. I mean, they're leaping beyond things they've never done before. Like, Emily's learning golf. Right? My wife's learning golf. So that's like Star Trek, the something unknown, right? So think about this, though. I want you to go into today thinking about iLeverage is committed to giving you the opportunity to grow even more. That's what you're going to find today and create the life that you were made for. Does that make sense? Don't settle. I struggle with that, too. I sat in Jeff's office one day. We could give everyone $1 million, have them put in the bank, but it's all going to disappear at different levels because of your identity. Would you agree? Because of your identity. And that hit me in a big way because I'm like, well, what's my identity, right? I got my EIP card, so I'm going to give you a quick portfolio structure overview of the company. The company, like I said, has evolved, and I'm excited to show this to you today. But each of these components, the various speakers are going to go into depth. So make sure you have your notebooks out because it's quite powerful. We have some amazing guests. Speakers, we have Kent Lewis from United Healthcare who came in. How far did you come in from? Sacramento. Oh, I'm thinking Kentucky. Sacramento. We were in Florida not too long ago, and I saw nothing but United Healthcare, so I'm really excited to see what Kent has up here. We have speakers that many of you already know. We also have a new speaker, part of our new division, who's heading our new division, Mr. Randy Wilson, which you'll see here shortly. But here's our portfolio structure overview, everyone. Our mission is to educate and empower, right? Empower is huge. Empowering you, empowering the company, empowering the team. We have, of course, iLeverage Insurance Agency, which many of you are licensed and familiar with. We have iLeverage Financial Advisors, which you'll hear from the great Thomas Bass later on. The great Thomas Bass. iLeverage Green. How many of you have not heard of iLeverage Green yet? See? We were trying to stay tight-lipped about this one. It's quite incredible. And we also have iLeverage Red, which is the Medicare. For those of you who are health licensed, there's disability under that as well. So I'm excited to show those to you. But think about this. The way this has come to fruition, designed by distance, designed by pandemic, our portfolio structure makes us the most complete, check that out, the most complete financial services company driving an unprecedented array of services and quality to our client base. That's a big statement, right? That's huge. Well, that's pretty ballsy, Dondi. You guys sure you're different? I'll tell you right now, we're different. No one's doing what we're doing. And the way we're doing it, we're traveling the country. We're just making big things happen out of this office in Millbrae, out of this office in SoCal, Hawaii, East Coast. It's crazy what we're able to do. All it takes is a mind shift, a mindset, and a commitment to yourself, to your family. Okay? I hope you're excited because it's unprecedented. That being said, I'd like to bring up on stage a gentleman who's been helping us in a huge way with iLeverage Red, teaching us all about Medicare. We have an amazing relationship with United Healthcare, but I can go all day because these guys have been really a force to be reckoned with. So we have a key player that's a partner with iLeverage, so I'm excited to introduce Mr. Kent Lewis.
Hey, thank you. We were actually live and in person last week for the first time in a year and a half. As we are today with your team, you're talking about the same thing, right? It is nice to see you. Like last Friday for me, it was like, oh my gosh, I have interaction. It's not just me and my computer in my office. So thank you so much. We're going to talk about a few things today. I really want to set the stage to just ask you a couple of questions, but let me take you through the agenda. First of all, we're going to look at what are the opportunities in Medicare. You're going to see some amazing statistics, which is great on slides, right? Nothing like a graph. But the future and what you're doing is important. And when you look at health insurance, compared to life insurance and the other products you sell, it's nice to be able to sell a product that you have to have, right? You're sitting there, you're selling a life insurance policy, they have to have it. Everybody agrees, right? We know that. The client's like, well, maybe I should have it, right? It's a big difference. So as you build a Medicare portfolio, you go from this have to, want to, need to I really got to get this done. Because in Medicare, if your Medicare eligibles don't enroll when they should, there could be penalties involved from CMS for the rest of their life, and it's a whole different level. So your conversion rate, maybe you're selling and you can close 75% of the people you meet with. That's great, which is a pretty high statistic. I doubt that, unless you're Jeff over here. With Medicare, when you have a referral and you have someone that needs it and you build that trust, you're gonna sell that deal, right? But the nice thing is you're providing something beyond just a policy. It's United Healthcare, and we have a company that's absolutely astounding. So, taking a look at a couple of things here, I want to ask you a question. How many people could have used, in the middle of this pandemic, 2020, 2021, could have used an additional secure revenue stream in your business? Right? Some of us actually did better. You know, statistics show there was 30-40% of the population that actually did better, which is amazing. And we had a lot of people that struggled and some that just were the same. What Medicare does and what this is it's, I don't want to say pandemic proof, but in the middle of this pandemic, Medicare has been thriving. Our division for Northern California, I'm the sales director from Bakersfield to the Oregon border, coast to the mountains, and we actually had probably 30% over what our goals were, which was a huge surprise, right? It was like, wow, this is actually a business that you can continue to thrive in the middle of what you've never even seen before, this pandemic. So when you look at your opportunities, it's a huge way to bring a new revenue stream in. It's recession proof because people, they need to, and they have to, and they want to get a Medicare policy here. So that's a huge thing. And then your client retention. Medicare products from United Healthcare, we have a 95% retention rate for people that come onto our plans. So that means basically you have your client on the policy for as long as they're alive, right? When they check, you go home early, or if they move, they're gonna be with us. And the reason that is we have a company that backs you up. We have 325,000 employees in 130 countries, and we are here to stay for today, tomorrow, and the future. We've been in business for about 45 years, and I have some more slides to show you there. as we roll forward. So, mention some statistics. Medicare is an increasing market right now. We're currently at about 11,200 people per day in this country turning 65. That continues to climb to 11,700 and it levels out. Oh, what do we have? 2024, we have levels out for about 3-4 years, and it continues well above 11,000 really for the next decade. What that allows you to do is build a business that's going to continue to expand as the market expands. You have an opportunity to just change your course. Now, I'm not saying, hey, should you just go all in 100% for Medicare? I know this company does a lot of things. You sell a lot of products. But this is important to realize that this is an increasing market because your clients are turning 65, their family is turning 65, their friends are turning 65. They all need a trusted Medicare advisor, and that's what we're here talking about today. So the point is, you have an increasing market share as you roll forward through here. Now, with Medicare, there's 3 basic plans. Some of you have your certifications done, you understand this a little bit more than others. You have your Medicare supplement plans, you have your Medicare Advantage plans, and your prescription drug plans. United Healthcare, we have all 3. We have top-notch products for all 3, which is great. We're here for you all the way through. But I wanted to show this slide because it's interesting when you see what's happening in Medicare as far as product selection. Medicare Advantage itself has gone from about 15% to over 30%. So it's gone 100% increase as far as choice. People are choosing more and more a Medicare Advantage plan over Medicare supplement with a prescription drug plan. And the reason is because several things, but these part of it is cost. It's a nice alternative on the cost side for premium, generally less expensive, but now we're seeing a lot of extra benefits on the Medicare Advantage plan. So you have Renew Active Fitness, like from United Healthcare. You have hearing aids included, vision, all kinds of transportation, benefits that are above and beyond Medicare that people are looking for and want to have. We even have some plans that will have over-the-counter. They can buy vitamins and things through Walmart, through Solutran is our main company. They use Walmart on the back end for that. So 4,500 different products available through the OTC benefits that's on a lot of our plans. So when you're looking at it and you're talking to an insured and they're considering the Medicare Advantage plan, it's like, well, the question really comes up as to, well, why wouldn't I go this direction? Well, that's the gate you get to walk through. They get to decide for themselves, but you'll see it's more and more, and when you compare it, there's different reasons that people will select different products. So what you want to do at this point, and I gave a handout which I'll go through in a little bit here, but you want to be an expert in the way that you're able to convey the information. So when you're talking to someone, you have confidence, you know Medicare inside and out, you're able to show them and say, hey, these are the different options for you. What works good for you? What is the most appropriate option? Here's some things to consider. Our top agent in Northern California, he has this thing he likes to say, there's no perfect product. Everyone is a little bit different what they need. And you'll find, just like we were talking earlier with Casey, every single one of them is a puzzle. You're going to be a problem solver for all of your clients because they have a different Medicare Part A date when they got Medicare. They have different needs as far as their premium per month that they want to spend. There are a variety of doctors and things that come up. And it's kind of fun. So if you approach each of them from just like, hey, I get to help this person work through a problem and come up with a solution, it's a win-win all the way through here. So it's an increasing market as you go through here. What's nice about the Medicare Advantage side, and again, United Healthcare has all 3 products for you, is the commissions have gone up on Medicare Advantage. So it's doubled. It's 100% higher than it was 15 years ago or so as far as selection goes. And the commissions are now at $672 for the year, for a first year coming on to a Medicare Advantage plan. And then renewals, half of that. So it's about $336. Well, it is $336 for each year after that. And that goes up as Medicare adjusts that. Each year, cost of living adjustments go into Social Security. You're aware of how that works. Medicare Advantage works kind of in the same thing where they'll increase. And so last year we saw an $18 per month on the renewal. It was $318, went to $336 for renewals. That's lifetime. When you start looking at how this can work in your business, I have two different examples here. And what you'll find for Medicare is you'll sell half of your business for Medicare during the annual election period. Anybody know what that is? When does it start? So shout it out. October what? October 15th. Very good. Goes till, there we go, December 7th. You got it. Every year, that's the time when most people are making their decisions. You will actually write about half of your business for Medicare during that time period. Now, the rest of the year is what I call the lock-in. It's the special election SEP time, and you'll sell the other half because, for the example that we were working through yesterday, a person's turning 65 in June. Medicare always starts the first month prior to the birth date, so if it's a June 15th effective date, there'll be a June 15th birth date, it'll be a June 1st effective date. So that person has a special election period to come on to Medicare. Then they're going to look at the different plans, and it's a puzzle. They're coming off a group plan. They're facing a surgery. What is their situation? And you'll become an expert on that. But when you look at the bigger, broader picture, this is what I'm talking about for income streams. So let's say that you're selling 50 policies a year for MAPD. We have thousands of agents that are doing this in California, okay, with United Healthcare. And we have a lot of agents, hundreds and hundreds of them that are over 100 per year, just United Healthcare on our Medicare Advantage plans, plus Medicare supplements, plus prescription drugs, all the other products that they're doing as well. So if you look at it, it's like, okay, great. Let's say that half of them are brand new to Medicare and half of them are renewals. You're maybe switching them from another carrier to United Healthcare. You look at what that looks like for a year. First year, 50 policies would be about $25,200. About 50, if you look at an average 50-50, like I said, new to Medicare versus renewals. That's a nice income stream. You take that out and how that builds, you keep doing that per year. Over 4 or 5 years, you're looking at $75,000 a year just on this revenue stream alone in your business. That's what I'm talking about during a pandemic, that you can have this, or a recession, or whatever's going on, or the president burps and it's like, whoa, the markets go crazy, and you got this going on for you. Now, if you get into it a little bit more and you start selling more, which, again, we have agents that some of them are selling 200 or 300 policies. It's like life insurance. You know how that works. You have some that are going to sell a lot, some that are less, and so forth. But the opportunities in how this is going to work for you is astronomical. We have several agents that I know that are making, just on Medicare alone, over $200,000 a year just from United Healthcare. Some of them over $300,000. It's great to see. So, annual election period, you're going to sell half of it. January 1st comes, that's the effective date. January 2nd comes as our first commission date, and this is how you're going to look. That's you when you're checking the bank account on your deposit that just came from United Healthcare. It's like, whoa, baby, it just came in, right? And trust me, we get some great phone calls on that time. We pay the fastest commissions in the industry. We're on time, accurate, always. It's the number one thing I have agents that I'll get to know over the years. Is I say, Kent, you are the best company as far as accuracy for commissions and on time for anybody. During the pandemic, we advanced. When we could see things really went crazy, we advanced like 2 or 3 months commissions to the agents up front. Said, we know you're struggling. We know that there's some tough times. A lot of people are going through. We'll just pay you up front the first 3 months, or the next 3 months of what your average would be. We'll reconcile it later. We did that to the hospitals that you contract United Healthcare to the tune of billions of dollars. We advanced their rates because when you saw the hospitals, nobody went to the hospital, right? It's like, hey, this is not a bad thing, in my opinion, right? Well, if you're a hospital, you like to have people in there. It's a business. But they're caring for people, and what they saw is a huge drop in revenue. Yeah, COVID was increased as they treated people, but they were suffering. And so United Healthcare stepped up and advanced billions of dollars to our carriers, or to our provider partners. And that's what I want to talk about next here is really, so you see the opportunity in Medicare, right? Hey, this looks pretty good. There's some money to be made. There's some ideas. I got some clients. I got some friends, people that I can use with this. I want to build a revenue stream. Why would I choose United Healthcare? I'm really glad you asked. We're going to talk a little bit about that. First of all, this slide is outdated. And the reason I still used it is I love it. Our company is a great company, but for some reason they haven't been able to match what they did last year. So we are now Fortune 7 company, but the slide is basically the same. When you look at United Healthcare for Medicare, we are the leader. We are the hands down leader for all things Medicare. Number one Medicare Advantage enroller in the country. Not even close. Even with companies that are combining forces, they're not even close to United Healthcare. 12.5 million Medicare beneficiaries just alone in this product line we have. AARP. Everybody familiar with AARP? Okay. AARP they have 1.2 million members in California. Well, guess what? A lot of them meet the same demographics of folks that we'd kind of like to insure. So we have a great partnership with AARP that's it's inked until 2025. We have the groundwork laid till 2030. We are their chosen partner, and it works out great because brand recognition plus United Healthcare, AARP, it works well. So you have that. So when you're talking to a client, you're presenting Medicare, and you present United Healthcare as a solution, say, this plan would work for you, whatever you're going through. You're not saying, hey, this is brand X, I got a plan for you, right? Hey, check this one out over here. This might work. No. This is United Healthcare. People know the name. We have actually 1 in 5 people insured that have Medicare in the country with United Healthcare right now. So you're going into it. Plus, you have AARP on all of our literature, so it just helps bridge that gap there. So, again, we have the top 3 plans, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, and prescription drug plans. I wanted to show you just what's available as you get contracted. And for who's got the writing ID with United Healthcare in the room? Nice, we're getting there, right? We're getting there. Thank you. There's a lot to it. The next step is to spend some time going into Jarvis, where you got your certifications, our United Healthcare agent portal, for those of you who have not done it yet, and order some kits. Take a look at where you focus right now and order some kits for, if it's San Mateo or Santa Clara or Los Angeles County. Get a supply of 10 or 15 brochures. Have them on hand. Get all 3 products. You're going to need them. It's going to be the next step when you're talking to people. So this is what they look like. What's nice is everything is about enrollment. Hey, it's an enrollment guide, right? We want to make things, it's an enrollment. When we do our meetings, it's an enrollment meeting. It's a community meeting to help you with Medicare, and it's an enrollment meeting. People understand because we like to have that up front. Yes, it's a Medicare educational meeting. We're going to teach you about Medicare, but if you want to enroll, if you think this plan is going to work for you and you like what you've heard, we can get you signed up today. So everything on our stuff is enrollment. This is just a couple of pictures. Everything's always top-notch for UHC. And so I would encourage you to get into the toolkit, into the Medicare sales material portal with United Healthcare and order those. So you want Medicare supplements, you want MAPDs, MAPD kits, some prescription drug plans they have on hand, and the Clarity brochure, which I will talk about in just a minute on that. So back to United Healthcare and why you would choose this company. For our members, we've done a few things I've mentioned already. Our advanced commissions, our advanced revenue to our provider partners, but we also donated so far over $2 billion to America. The United Healthcare, the motto we have is helping people live healthier lives and making the healthcare system work better for everyone. And what that means is when we're facing a pandemic, I got to see this firsthand. I was stunned. I mean, right away, we were partnering with universities and going after remember the whole testing thing in March last year? We got to get our test. We immediately got it where you could do the swab test without having to go through the nasal cavity in the back and all these different things, partnering with them. Food banks, remember the food shortages that we were seeing in the news? And some of us have people we know that were suffering with some of this. We were there, donating, working alongside across the country. We turned to in our centers, since everybody was working at United Healthcare call center, you're going to work from home now. Great, good for them. But here's this empty building. What about the people working in the lunchroom, right? These guys and gals this is their livelihood. So we turned those folks into community outreach people and served meals through our food centers or our cafeterias at United Healthcare throughout the country. it was fun for me because I've been with the company for a little over 5 years, been in the insurance business for 35 years. This company really matches the walk with the talk. It's one thing I've worked for other carriers and to say some things, oh, this is interesting, this is good, and you don't see on the backside. This company continues to astound me on what we're doing to help our fellow Americans, ourselves, and really to get through life in general here. So COVID relief, also we did our insulin saving program, all of our Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plans, just the MAPDs, flat $35 copay. Member services, we have a new model which allows a person that if maybe they're facing a open heart surgery or they just come out of it, they're gonna have specialist bills. They're gonna have all kinds of radiology bills. They're gonna have a whole slew of claims. And we built a system actually around a United Healthcare employee who was incurring 300 claims a year as their dependent was going through all these multiple things. We will hire them, give them a navigator. Actually, it's not hiring, they're already with us, to help that person walk through and maybe they have a wheelchair access issue they can't get, or prescriptions aren't being filled correctly or something like that. That person is assigned to help them walk through the whole thing there. This year we've had close to 1 million people that have used this. It's automatically assigned from our service teams. Our agents now, if you have a situation come up, you can actually refer somebody to that program. They have to meet a certain criteria to be part of that. But our goal is that we would all of our insureds will have access to this. Stability plans, we are always continuing to get better at what we do, expanding into new markets in California. So you're gonna like what you see here. What we do for you as our agents is a whole bunch of different things. We have a dedicated team in Northern California. I think most of you or a lot of you have met myself and Matt Broman, Brett Johnson, Carlos Campos, and Raheel as part of our team, and then we have our awesome sales coordinator, Brandy. So we're dedicated here for you. But as you're getting used to the company, you get into Jarvis, take a look at Lean, do a practice application, and just see you see how easy this works for you. So then when you have that client, you have somebody, you're starting to do some marketing, you're doing some outreach, and you get some live people to talk to about Medicare, which I encourage you strongly. Now is the time to do it because you lay your foundation now, then open enrollment comes, you are ready to rock and roll. So get in there and take a look at Lean, how that works, because the application, it takes about 10 minutes, start to finish, all the way through. They sign right on the thing, or you can do it virtually if you're meeting with a client. Some clients are still, a little cautious about getting out of the house right now as this comes through. Get used to it because it's right there at your fingertips. You can use a laptop, you can use an iPad for signature, or you can do the remote signature process. It's there for you. Health assessment is something also, as you develop and you get into it and you start building your book of business and you're doing applications, make sure you do Lean because that gives you access to take an extra few minutes to say, would you mind if I asked you a few questions for United Healthcare? It's not health qualifications. What it is a health assessment allows us, instead of getting Bob Smith, who we don't know, Bob Smith is on this Medicare Advantage plan, great, welcome to United Healthcare. We get Bob Smith and we know that maybe he has diabetes, maybe he's taking these certain medications, and when his call comes through, it's automatically routed to one of these teams that are specially trained to help this person with different ideas in their health. And hey, we have this particular situation for you, this option for your health care that can help you improve in your care. And that's what this is all about. And you get an extra $50 on each application for that. Nice thing is you go through that open enrollment annual election period. Here comes February now, you get this extra bonus. We were seeing people getting $5,000, $10,000 checks from those health assessments. You guys are building a legacy. Today you're going to be talking about the future. I heard you're building this wealth, and that's what you're doing. You're building a business. It's important to be thinking. And I love what I heard earlier, where your vision, your $1 million. Are you a millionaire? Is it how is that going to affect your life? And it's a great question. And that's what's great about this is you're building this business, you can sell it to someone at some point. Maybe you get to the point where you want to retire and you say, you know what, I don't really want to handle Medicare anymore. I want to sell this. We have an agent successor program, a team that's dedicated for you that you can actually sell that book of business. Pretty cool stuff. Local market initiatives and all kinds of things here. The products you're going to learn, I would encourage you to get into some of the details, and we'll talk about it in just a second here. In Jarvis, once you're set, and for those who have writing IDs, you have access to this. There's about right now, it fluctuates because they're always changing our marketing team. 700 pieces of material are available right now at your fingertips. There's flyers, there's postcards, there's presentation decks, all kinds of things right at your fingertips. Looks like Jeff's been busy. He's got one over here. It's got iLeverage on it. Nice job, Jeff. Little postcard that's available, in there. It's customized with your information. It has your phone number, your email address, your website right there on everything you do. And it's right there available, no cost. It's gone through our compliance team. It's been approved. It's gone to Medicare. We've got them approved. All you have to do is print it, and you're off and running and ready to go. Now, one thing about iLeverage is you have an amazing speaker platform, right? You guys are doing community events. You have a lot of things you do in person. The Tony Robbins connection is cool. I love it. I've actually been to Tony Robbins in person a few years ago, about 25. But it was great. Loved it, right? And as you do presentations, we have, and I want to show you next, we have ready to go presentations that are queued up waiting for you right now. And I just did some prints out of these screens here. Oh, Jeff, I used your stuff you already had done here. This is the Clarity presentation. So what we recommend is that you have a community meeting started, and then this is up on the screen. So it's people are coming in, hey, things are about to become very clear. It's all about Medicare education. Trust me, you guys who've got your writing IDs, there's a few things to learn with Medicare, right? It's not that easy. It's like, really? You made it this complicated for this population? Of all the populations, this is a complicated product. And I mean, it's even with me, it's been, I'll still learn something every day. Oh yeah, right, that's interesting. So you have your educational events, but we have this up. It's like, hey, people are coming into the room, filtering in. You got this up there, has your information. Presentation's gonna begin shortly. And then you go through the Clarity presentation here. And what's nice about it is this is what I had for a handout for you today, is it's right here. It matches your little guide. And so you go through this, start to finish, it's done for you. You just take them through, because with the Medicare sales presentation, there's certain requirements that Medicare requires us to do. It's not, don't be afraid. It's like, oh, I got all the, yes, you gotta make sure you do it right. But don't, the one thing our modules, when you're doing your certifications, leave a lot of agents with is this CMS paranoia. They're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do anything. It's like, it's okay. You do the best you can. But what you do with any presentation on Medicare is you're going to go through Medicare 101, what I call. Educate them on the different parts of Medicare. And we have it right there for you. I encourage you, I left a bunch of these for you. Order these on your own. It just takes, because people need to know. What are the different parts of Medicare? Oh, it's right there, first page. Here's your Medicare card. Here's your different options. Oh, I skipped that one when I did oh, here it is. So it takes you through the whole presentation process. It's like, okay, well, here's your hospital, part A. That's your hospitalization part. Part B is your doctor services. Okay, so they're understanding, they're learning through that, right? And then you're going through, great, well, here's your different options. Did you know that you're left with 20% that you have to pay for doctor services and things like that? People go, oh, I didn't realize that. I'm stuck with that. Well, that's why you get a Medicare supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan to pick up that difference for you. And so you go through, and then you say, well, what's nice about a Medicare Advantage is it has your Part A, it has your Part B included all into one plan, plus your prescription drugs, all into one plan, and it's one pretty low premium. And maybe it's like Canopy in San Francisco for $39 a month or whatever it is. But you're going through, you're continually educating. So you're not so much a salesperson as really a problem solver for each of these appointments, even for your presentations. And so you're building that rapport as you go through, but it's all right here. And so you go, great, open your book here and you go through this process. It's 5 pages. Now on the back, you have a list here you can do for your prescriptions and your doctors, because that's the number one thing they're going to want to know. Is my doctor part of this plan? Are my prescriptions covered? And how much does it cost? It's right there. You have them, hey, take a second, fill this out. That way when you're meeting with them and you go, afterwards, love to answer some questions. Oh, okay, great. You have them listed here. Let's just look it up on the computer right here. Oh, your medications are covered this way. Oh, yeah, Dr. Smith, he's right here. He's part of the plan. Or maybe they're not. Maybe whatever you're problem solving. What are their needs? What do they want in a plan there? So it's all readily available, has some nice quotes here. This one is the one that I think affects me the most. When I look at Medicare Advantage personally, I was a Med-Sup guy. I've been in the business for 35 years. I built an agency for 15 years in Tahoe. I worked for another carrier for 10 years. Worked for a large agency with managing call centers in the Sacramento area. But the one thing I had to address to myself was, what do I believe in? Yeah, I believe in the right option for each person, but how does a Medicare Advantage help someone? Why that product versus Medicare Supplement, and why Med-Sup versus Medicare Advantage? And when I started looking at the actual statistics that we have that show the relationship between a patient and their doctor and what their overall goal is, an MAPD plan covers a routine physical every year. Early diagnosis, it's HMO, right? So they're going to be talking to the doctor. The doctor knows their medications. They know their specialist, what their health goals are, recommendations. And really, when they go into that hospital, they have that situation. It's not just like, oh my gosh, this person's in the hospital. It's like this person has a relationship with their doctor. They have a complete understanding. So we see all kinds of statistics that show less cost. One of the statistics we have shows 28% less hospital readmissions. So this is for people who are hospitalized, they're out, and bam, they're back in the hospital. 28% less because of this integrated approach to Medicare. I love this because when you look at it at the end of the day, and especially United Healthcare, we have hundreds and hundreds of examples we know where we've done these outreach. Hey, get your physical exam. Would you like us to schedule this for you? We actually show that we've saved their life. They had early diagnosis. We called them, got the appointment set up with their doctor. They had the appointment. Oh my gosh, you have this. Did you realize? And knowing the statistics of that particular situation they were facing with disease, they would be gone. And so these people are playing with their grandkids still because of what we do as a company. Those are the kind of things that I look at with United Healthcare and I go, wow, we are making a difference. Now, we have a great Medicare supplement plan too, and I don't want to throw them under the bus on that side of the fence, but sometimes this integrated approach is better where the doctor knows you and knows what you're up to versus, oh my gosh, I'm sick and I gotta go. Typically, a Medicare supplement person will react to the healthcare system that way, kind of like most of us do. I don't need to go unless I have to go, and now I really got to go. So those are the things that are important for me. And so once I came to that conclusion that, hey, this really is a viable product, all right, it's as good as the Med-Sup, but we sell a ton of Medicare supplement in Northern California, and you will too, and you will see that. I mean, just like Casey and I were talking about, hey, it looks like the Medicare supplement is going to be a better option for this person. Everybody's different. Got it ready all the way through here, takes you through this. Then what we do in addition to what's here is you can populate from the toolkit the actual benefits. So you have the enrollment guide, so you'll have your meetings, or if you're in person, you have your enrollment, or if you're on the phone, you can just email it to your client. Has all the all the Medicare benefits queued up for you. Hey, by the way, this plan here, you can just take them through. This is the canopy plan for San Francisco. This is how this works here. And you're comparing it and so forth. My whole point with this is, and then you talk about some of the extra benefits that we talked about. This is where the sizzle is. Like, oh, this makes sense. I like this. Gym membership, over-the-counter benefits, routine hearing, and so forth. But it's all in there so You can flow, it's easy. They have the enrollment guide, they have the benefit brochure up. They're looking at page 7 and 8, which has the benefit outline. And you say, see, this is easy. And they go, oh, great. So it's an integrated approach, making us, United Healthcare, the leader. And then, of course, you go through and say, hey, I'm here to help you. Next steps are talk to me after the meeting. I'd be happy to sit down with you and make sure, see what your questions are, and certainly get you enrolled today if you think it'll work for you. And there's the information at the end of it. So it's customized, readily available for you at your fingertips. Pretty cool, right? So, of course, we got to talk about the contracting process, right, Jeff? Excuse me for a second here. Okay. The contracting process looks like this. Basically, you're going to get an email from either Jeff or your general agent. Can you, general agents, raise your hand in the room? Okay. So you'll get either an email from Jeff if you're being appointed directly from iLeverage or for your general agent. Same commissions. Either way. And act on it. This whole process, maximum of 7 to 10 days. It's easy. It's simple. You simply fill out the e-paperwork. You get your party ID and background check. That's where the first roadblock comes up. And I did the same thing. When I worked for a different agency, when I was working for a company after I came from my own agency and to work for eHealth Insurance, contracted with United Healthcare at that point, I did the same thing. Oh, I got my ID. I'm good. And they're like, oh, no, there's something else you got to do. So when you get your ID, that's when the background check starts. You got your health license and life license, you're going to be fine. Then you got to go into our agent portal, look at the letter, look at the email. The website's right there available. You log in, set up your login and so forth, and then complete your certifications there. Doesn't take that long. New, you're going to take a little longer, maybe an hour and a half, tops, where you go through. But the nice thing is you're building your knowledge base, right? You're going through, answering questions, taking tests. You're learning through this. You're learning about Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, prescription drug plans, the different times of the year a person can enroll. You're continuing to build your knowledge base. But I tell you what, my homework assignment for everybody in the room, contracted or not, is take the Clarity booklet. If you'll just spend 10 minutes, that's my challenge to you. Everybody gonna do this? Please raise your hand, do this. Take 10 minutes and read it. You will know more about Medicare than anybody you know. If you take another 10-minute session and actually learn it and study it and go through it, maybe a period of a week or so, you're going to know more than most people in general, in the population completely, and you'll be an expert if you just read it 3 times. Because you're going to learn when the enrollment periods are, the different parts and prescriptions and all this stuff. So do that first. You're going to get your certifications, become an expert, but it's not this huge, oh my gosh, I got to get my master's degree in Medicare insurance, you know. It's really just a matter of just getting some information, order some kits, enrollments, and then read it. Most of it's just fluff, right? So you can just go to the stuff that you really need to read about. How does a Medicare supplement work? How does a Medicare Advantage plan work? The differences. Then the questions will come up. Now you're starting to market, you're thinking about getting the word out. Then it's like Casey calling Jeff, hey, got a client here, we got this. That's where the rubber hits the road. You get that knowledge built. If you can do that now, and I really can't emphasize this enough, if you can get that done now, this time of the year, as you roll through summer, if you can get 5 deals under your belt, MedSup, prescription drug plans, Medicare Advantage plans, whatever it is, you'll know the systems and how they work. You'll know the whole process and the questions that come up. You'll know the election periods and the differences. You'll have a confidence level so then when open enrollment hits in October and maybe you start doing some events, maybe you're doing some advertising, you're getting the word out to your clients, you have a comfort level that says, you know what, I need to get the word out. I need to let everybody know what I'm doing. They might know you as an insurance agent or an investment advisor. It's like, okay, do I have enough confidence to send a letter or an email and a phone call to everybody I know that I'm doing Medicare now, that I'm with United Healthcare, that we have this as a product line? You will be very happy if you do that. So, but it takes confidence, right? Because you're not going to do that if you haven't gone to Jarvis and if you haven't ordered any of the kits because you haven't read anything, Or if you haven't got any of the flyers, you don't have any things that are readily available, and it's at your fingertips. I implore you, it's easy. Get it done. So, my final thoughts for you are, my question is this. These people have the same thing in common right now. Your family, your friends, your business associates, your clients. What is the common thing between everything? What do they all have in common right now? Yep. Anything else? We're getting there. We're getting there. They are all using someone else for their Medicare needs. Why not you? That's my question. You've seen the opportunity. You know the difference you can make. Everybody you know. You go, well, my family, they're not 65 yet, right? Guess what? Their friends are. When you go, my client's average age is only 40. Guess who they're related to? Their parents. They're getting Medicare, and they're all looking for help because, as you're seeing, it's kind of complicated. Medicare is not easy. It is, and that's actually a tagline a lot of agents will use. I'm here to make Medicare easy for you, and I love that. It's always been one of my favorite things to say. I'm here to make Medicare easy for you. You want to be that person, and there's no reason why it can't be. So, thank you very much.
Hello, Ken. Before you get off stage, we would like to thank you with an iLeverage water bottle.
All right,
For traveling
thank you.
from Sacramento. Thank you so much. I can take that for you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Hey, awesome. Thank you for having me, everybody. Appreciate it.
Let's give it up for Ken, everyone. Keep those hands going. Jordan, you're going to have to come to me.
All right, thank you again, Ken. That was awesome. Thank you again, too, for taking the time all the way from Sacramento. I know that's not the best drive, but we do thank you. And I really appreciate how technical he was and in-depth, right? We definitely learned a lot. And the reason, too, why I think this is really important is maybe you've been in insurance or not, but I personally have had clients that have asked about Medicare. And at the time, I didn't have my license. So for me and also you guys, you never want to leave money on the table, right? So this is just something that's really good. Like I was saying earlier, you always want to diversify your portfolio. But thank you again. And also, too, what is really awesome is when you think about it, people are always going to need Medicare. It's not something, yes, you can market it, but it's not something you're going to necessarily have to market hard because I've had a lot of people that are already asking for it. It's a majority of the time you turn 65 and you qualify, so it's a matter of which one do you use. And I'm sure, any of us who here would be happy making $150,000 passive income doing nothing. Yeah, right? That's amazing. That's more than some people make in 1, 2, maybe even 3 years, unfortunately. And it rises with the cost of inflation. So I thought that was a really great point. United Healthcare, you definitely can't go wrong with. They are number 7 in Fortune 500, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not like you're giving any company. It's one of the best or the best in Medicare in the industry. So thank you again for that. That was awesome. So now we already went through insurance. We went through Medicare. Now we went through financial. This is definitely something that you want to check out, especially if you're already insurance and you want to take your financial education to the next level. Because think of it like this. What happens if you, as you build your market, you end up to a more established customer or client? Will you be ready for that? Because one of the worst things you can do is leaving money on the table. Wouldn't you agree? So it's always good to be prepared. You always want to, diversify, like I was saying. Even if you don't do a lot in each business, it all slowly compounds if you do a little bit of daily small habits in each one. And that's what's really exciting. There's a lot to look forward into the future. So next, we're going to go over what's been working in the field. We're going to get some words of wisdom from some 3 agents. It's definitely a pleasure to work around them. I love their energy because energy is one of the few fundamentals that's contagious. And having that positive mindset, being around the energy, it pushes you to be better people, better in business as well. So some of the individuals we're going to hear from, their names, we will be talking to them soon, is Nate Sevier, Mahmoud Eid, and also Casey Blass. But before we do that, Jeffrey Delgado is going to introduce him. Jeffrey, I'm sure we all know him. He's a very awesome individual. He's been doing the insurance financial education and also having a business for over 25 years combined. So what's really awesome about that is not only is he great at business, not only is he very intelligent in that aspect, but he's obviously a very amazing person. He's an amazing speaker as well. You guys definitely have to hear him, which you will obviously soon, but when you hear someone at that level, it really wants you to be a better person. It really helps you, to really want to take your business to the next level. Jeff, I could really go on about him. He's a man of integrity, and he's supported by, his beautiful wife and family. So he's definitely, always great, whether it's in business or whether it isn't. And also, too, if you haven't checked out his podcast, it's called The Decisive Point.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not paid to say this. It's just really that great, and I listen to it all the time. But you definitely have to check it out for yourself. But enough of that. Up next, we have Jeffrey Delgado, President and CEO.
All right. Test. Thank you, Jordan. That's good. Hey, good afternoon. Hey, real quick, can you guys stand up and stretch real quick and just shake it off? That's a lot of information from Thomas. Give Thomas a hand. Come on, you guys. If you didn't understand Thomas, because he was kind of speaking a language of Thomas Bass language only, what's happened is you can have a seat now. We added a financial services division. Now, what he said through all of that information was if you have an insurance license, so just say, yeah, if I have an insurance license, say that. You have an insurance license, right? So if you have an insurance license, typically you cannot make money in the securities world. But because of our new platform, you could share in the fees of a financial services product that has nothing to do with life insurance. Did you guys hear what I just said? It's like being an advisor with an insurance license. You guys didn't catch it, or am I the only one that got excited about that part? You guys got it, right? Now, the reason why I say that is you have to realize what that meant. But real quick, I wanted to get Mo, Nate Severe, and also Casey Blast. Come up here real quick. Just come up. Run up here. Could you guys be excited a little bit? Is that all right or what? It's Saturday. It's Saturday right now, right? Come up here. These guys, for the last quarter, have been doing some great work. They're making money, and I wanted to just hear how they're feeling. Casey, come here, Casey. Come here real quick. Casey is like the youngest guy in the room, okay? How old are you, Casey?
I'm 23.
23. Here, give him a mic here. Say it again. It's okay.
All right, so I just turned 23.
23.
Yeah.
He's just basically my daughter's age. That's how young he is, okay? And he did about how much in business in the last few days, 30 days or whatever?
Almost $11,000.
$11,000. Is that pretty big?
Yeah.
How many of you at 23 years old had $11,000 in business at 23 years old? That's a big deal. Is that right? So we just want to hear from him how he's feeling, what he's looking forward to. Just real quick. Don't go too long, okay? Just quick, okay?
All right, so I hope you guys are feeling good because we have a lot of great information, especially some great speakers to hear from. Thank you, of course, Kent and Thomas. But I had a great time just getting myself into the industry early of September of last year, and to be around such amazing people to teach me and as well as encourage me to continue to push and motivate myself to get business done, as well as educate and empower families. It's been a great ride. I believe this is just the beginning, and by the end of the year, you will see some tremendous things happen. I hope you guys are all excited, but I'm feeling great. I know these two guys right here next to me are also feeling great, and we can't wait to show you what's in store for the future.
Hey, Casey is Rookie of the Quarter, so give him a hand. He's Rookie of the Quarter. Come on, Nate. Let's do it, man. Nate, come on.
All right, what do you want?
Hey, just give us how you're feeling. Talk about how handsome you are, whatever you want to do.
So I've been successful here in the company. I feel like I owe this all to my leadership. There's a word I wanted to talk about real quick, and this is confidence. Funny enough, I'm actually kind of shy. But everyone's laughing because once I meet you, I'm really not shy. But it takes a little bit for me to get up here and talk to people like this, and then so I hope I relate to some of you in that regard. But Jeff and Donnie and some of the others have been really inspirational, and it's really helped me to break free from that. And now I get to help people and make their lives better and protect them, and I'm also making a living doing that, and it feels really good well, the word is, or the saying is, if you love what you do, it's not work. So that's how I feel here at iLeverage.
All righty, give a hand, you guys, come on.
Hi everyone. I know my name is really complicated. It's Mahmoud, but hey, you can call me Mo. I think that's a lot easier for a lot of people here. Hello, so, nice to meet you. So I'm really excited to be here. I want to first off thank you guys all for being here today, and obviously our amazing team who contributed into making this event happen. We worked hard, okay? Just gotta let you know that to make this event look as good as possible, and bring in all the speakers and the presentations up. But one thing I wanted to talk about, I moved to this country from Egypt when I was 18 years old, and you know what? I know a lot of people in this room come from a different country, right? And they want the American dream, and I just want to let you know, you just found it, okay? You just found it. We're just getting started. Our company is just getting started. There's big things coming, okay? We're about to, I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. We're about to explode right now, okay? I don't know if you guys know this, but we're about to explode. We've had our different phases last year, but we are now entering is what I call the explosion phase, okay? So I hope you're ready. We have alignments with some of the largest companies in the world. We have the best compensation plan in the entire industry with diversity of products as well. Top-notch opportunities, an incredible leadership team. So all we need from you is to make a decision, right? All we need from you right now is to make a decision. I started this business when I was 22 years old, didn't know left from right, up from down. I had no idea what I'm doing, right? Just got excited about the business, about the opportunity, and you know what? It wasn't until my wants became needs is when everything kind of started changing for me, right? It's you get to a point the point is like you want something, but then it transitioned to needing something because you just sold yourself on it so much. The opportunity is great, I'm telling you. And I remember in one of our meetings, in a matter of a moment, I made a decision, okay? And that decision changed everything for me. I decided that I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make my family proud of me and make a name for myself. I wasn't just interested in the idea, because there's a lot of people that are just interested in the idea, right? I was committed to the results. So there's decisions and there's commitments that we're talking about here. I've never been the most skilled person. I've never been the most talented person. I had a lot to work on, and I still do have a lot more to work on. We all do. No one is perfect, right? But you got to make that decision. It's never going to be easy. There's people that will doubt you. There's people that will, kind of talk you out of this. But at the end of the day, you got to keep building your foundation. We're not going to be working for people for the rest of our lives. We're not going to have jobs for the rest of our lives. I'm a person that hates jobs. Jeff probably knows that, right? So I encourage everybody to make a decision, right? So if we take a look at the word decision stems from the word decide. And anything that has side in it, it means to kill, right? Homicide, suicide, genocide. You're killing everything, okay? Homicide again. Genocide, suicide. So when you decide, you're going to change your life. When you decide that you're going to do whatever it takes, when you decide that you're going to make this thing happen, that's the only time that you're going to go win big for you and your family. Okay? This is an opportunity of a lifetime, and we got to make the most out of it. So let's go. I'm excited.
Hey, Mo's pretty excited, huh? Hey, give him another hand, come on. Hey, real quick, Mike, come up here, Mike. If you guys didn't know, we actually have a property and casualty division for anybody who has auto or homeowner that you would like to refer out and help you build your business. Mike, where's the mic? I'm sorry, Bree. Come up here, Mike. I don't want to freak him out. He doesn't want to be on stage. He said, Jeff, I just want a second. I don't want to talk too much. So just tell a little bit about what you could do to help their clients and how you could help them and what you offer, things like that, products and services, things like that.
Thank you, Jeff. My name is Mike Macario, and I'm a multi-line insurance agent. And for most of us agents here, when you guys close your life insurance policy, some of you guys may come across clients that are inquiring about bundling their auto, home insurance together. I could be your source of referral for that. Whether if it's auto, home, renters, commercial, or business insurance, I can provide those quotes for your clients. My information is actually on the iLeverage website.
Yeah, you'll be able to see Mike's information on the iLeverage website. He'll have a referral form if you'd like to refer someone to him. Products like Nationwide is one of our preferred carriers, so he could bundle that up into a one product.
Exactly.
Is that right? To give him a discount. If you offer them a Nationwide product, you get them a Nationwide auto policy and a Nationwide homeowner policy. They call that a bundle. Everybody say bundle.
Yeah.
A bundle.
And
So he helps you with that.
Absolutely. So with that being said, that's a potential 5% off of their life insurance policy or home.
You hear that? It's pretty good, right? So is that it? Is you good? Hey, he's wearing an iLeverage shirt. Give him a hand, you guys. Come on.
Thank you.
Hey, he was thinking about this all week. Okay, so hey, thank you, Mike. Thank you. He has a great business. He's in our office. So if you have any questions, please come to him. How many of you are feeling pretty good right now? Feeling pretty good. I'm gonna get you out of here pretty quick. The goal of today, if you guys don't mind, first take a deep breath. I just want you to take a breath. I want to get into a lot in a short amount of time. If you guys are okay with just kind of taking some notes, I'm pretty pumped right now. How many of you are just happy to be in a real meeting for the first time? Yeah, how many are done with the Zoom? How are you done with the Zoom? I am done, completely done with webinars and Zooms. It actually makes me sick now. Like when I go on and I see someone in their house, I'm like, turn that off. I don't want to see your house anymore. Anybody with me or no? I'm done with it. I'm totally done with it. So I'm ready to run a meeting again. I'm ready to start seminars again and do client seminars. How many of you excited to do client seminars this year? You guys don't seem excited. It's okay. I'm just going to be here and do my thing, all right? I want to talk about a couple of things. We have a lot to cover, and so I want to make sure we're going to kind of shift gears from the business we're talking about today. So we started off with Medicare first, and Kent's a great guy, and we only have a handful of agents here that are actually health insurance licensed, so that was not going to resonate with all of you right now, but open enrollment, it probably will. Thomas Bass came up, talked about the advisory division. You're probably not all excited because you don't have a securities license, but maybe when you come across a client who wants to get a 401k, like for example, we have Jack and his wife Kim, they're working on a 401k potentially. Do you mind if I say something? Is that okay? I don't want to say it out of compliance. Is that okay? $1 billion on one account, billions of dollars. So we're talking, how many billions of dollars were we talking that we're? $6 billion. That's a B, okay? And the kind of income you're talking about that goes to Jack and to the firm is life-changing money on one company. So you may not get excited hearing Thomas talk about it, but if you were Jack and Kim and Thomas talk about it, you're all pumped right now. You know what I'm saying, right? And so you got to understand, you may not resonate it yet, but now we're adding a new division, which we're going to talk more about, which may get some of you excited because it requires no license. You don't have to worry about any Medicare licensing or open enrollment or getting to be a financial advisor, but it gives you a chance to make money. If there's any of you in here that doesn't have a license who want to make money, this may be the next part of the meeting, may just get you all pumped up. Is that okay? The problem with the word pumped up is I hate the word pumped up. And I'm going to talk about that now. Okay, first of all, I want to congratulate iLeverage because last year, through a terrible year for the country and businesses and restaurants that went out of business, we actually did about a 30% increase than we did the year before. So that is pretty scary, given the fact that we were in a pandemic and we had to do those crazy, ugly Zoom meetings. You with me? The ability to sell online is a gift, I think is a blessing that we're able to have. How many were able to just enjoy talking to clients while you're home and still be able to make a living for your family? Is that right? You enjoyed that, so that's great. We still had great rollovers. We still had big insurance policies. Great year, so I'm excited about that. All the stuff that we had to now deal with, the declining job market was a struggle. Financial challenges for people that may have lost their jobs, and you're seeing a lot more crime today. Am I right? Maybe it's because we're focusing on the news too much. I'll talk about that in a second. I think you may be watching too much news that may be making you focus and magnifying the negative. Just keep this in mind. The news job is to get ratings. It's not for you to get the best information. Ratings is only sold by negative information. So every time you watch the news, what you're really trying to do is say, whatever they tell me, that means that's the world that I'm going to live in. So be careful watching the news, okay? CNN actually stands for constant negative news, okay? So if you're always on the news, you're wondering, how come I'm not pumped? Because if you're focusing on someone who got robbed, you didn't focus on the person that also changed the world. Is that right? So if you're focusing on, oh my gosh, they broke into this store and stole all these diamonds, the world's going crazy. But you forgot about the other guy who changed the world over there and gave food to the needy. But they didn't put the news on him. So if it was a flashlight, you only had the flashlight and the negative, and that's all you've seen. And that's the world you decide to live in. So the news people, you guys got to chill because you may change your life by just stop watching the news. Is that fair? Social life changes. We can't see our families. I've actually lost families during the COVID situation. We had family members pass away because of COVID. If you guys didn't know me, my family got hit with COVID pretty hard. So some of you that are all COVID negative, look, you're not COVID negative until you feel what COVID feels like, and you're like, oh, that's pretty real to me. So I know what I went through as for my family, it was scary, and I know it was tough. Having to stay in shape in the COVID time was tough. How many would agree with that? Oh, you guys all seem pretty ripped then, I guess, from the, I see people say, oh, Jeff, it's COVID weight. I'm still working it off. Well, COVID's ended now, so what are you going to do now? And then juggling your family, also your other activities that you do with your life. I mean, kids have to go to basketball, soccer games, and just life in general, right? How many know exactly what I'm talking about? This was an interesting year for us. So where we are in the foundation of iLeverage, and we're trying to put together the right type of people to have a vision. When would you want to join a company anyway? Would you like to join the company when it's at the top, or would you rather join it when it's just getting started? Most people, they don't understand that until they've been in a company that's been around a while, then they feel small. Let me kind of go through something real quick. Oh, by the way, we have an app. If you haven't downloaded our app, make sure you do that. Is that cool? Can you download our app? We have a new division you'll see in here, called iLeverage Green. You're going to want to see that. We'll talk about that later. Okay, we're going to talk about that with Randy. I'm not going to get into Medicare. You guys got vomited on that one. Is that right? So Medicare, the reason why that's a big deal for Medicare is because this is called residual income. What he didn't mention here is this you making $148,000 a year for the rest of your life without working anymore by just working 5 years. So he didn't say that fast enough. So just work 5 years. Let me say it again. 5 years, just work 5 years and just do 100 deals per year for 5 years. You have 148,000. There's guys doing that in open enrollment time. So that's when he may have said this slide, but you may not have caught it, okay? Now, in the insurance side, we have everything. Is that true? Now, let me tell you something. I don't care how many you have. You could only offer one insurance product to the client. So you could vomit and say, well, I got 1 million carriers. You could only sell one. The client, you're not going to sell them 6 policies. You're going to sell them one. So just learn one and master it, okay? I want you to write this down. Are you efficient or are you effective? Efficient is people who's doing the right things. Effective is doing the right things all the time. You could do things right, but you could be doing the wrong thing. That means you could be doing something right, but it's not going anywhere because it's not effective. You're doing it, you're efficient, but you're not effective. You're good at your job that's efficient, but it's not really changing much. What you're doing is not impacting much. It's just you're efficient at what you're doing. Does that make sense? You could be efficient of folding your clothes at home, but that's only effective for you. It doesn't affect the rest of the world. So being efficient and being effective are two different things. Our goal is what we're going to talk about today is make you effective. Is that cool? Are you excited? No, I haven't been more excited than I am right now, and so you got to hear what I'm going to say. The first one I want to talk about, many people come, they meet us, I call uninformed optimism. I meet people like this all the time. You ever see people like this? That's why I don't like excited too much. These are the ones who bounce around in different marketing companies. They're called uninformed, but they're optimistic. They're really pumped. And I don't like pumped all the time because sometimes they're pumped and they have no idea what they're pumped for. Meaning they see something and they go, oh my God, that's it. That's my life changer right there. They get their friends involved. They tell everybody about it. But here's what it is. Their reality, they don't know what they're doing yet. They're fired up without any real knowledge about their product, their market, what they're doing, what they're jumping into. They got caught up in hype. They don't understand the actual work needed to make money. They failed to study the business, the trends, or the direction of what they're actually joining, just hoping that their energy will get them there. You ever see people like this or no? Am I alone, or you ever see people like this, right? They think everybody's going to want what they got. I can't wait. All I got to do is tell people this, and that's it. Once I tell them about this, they're going to be all excited. They call them uninformed optimism. They're optimistic, but they're uninformed. And I see a lot of that all the time. Someone trying to get me to join some deal. I just go, he's in what is called uninformed. Everybody say that with me. Optimism. Okay, then you get to what is called informed pessimism. Now you know a lot, but now you don't believe in anything anymore, okay? You now understand your business. Now you feel it's hard. So you get involved in an iLeverage. You go meet a client. He says, no, I don't want that. Oh, so this is hard. This is real work now. I got to actually learn a skill about how to make someone make a decision. I have to work hard. People don't just buy what I thought. They don't want it as fast as I thought. All of a sudden, the reality's starting to kick in. People aren't just going to call you. So you start to go through an area of your life called doubt, where you start to doubt yourself. You start to doubt your life. You start to procrastinate. You start watching more news. How you like that one? You start watching more news. You start going on social media. It's depressing you because the perception of what you're seeing on social media is their highest version of their life, which makes you feel like your life's not moving very much because you know your business isn't really doing what you think it's doing. And you start to doubt yourself. And now you're at this point of, I'm not really happy anymore. You know, I'm going to start looking for another business opportunity. And you're thinking that's going to change when you get uninformed optimism somewhere else. It's the same thing. You're just going right back in the cycle again. Does it make sense? You go right back into uninformed optimism and join another company, and you're going to go through that whole cycle again until you get to this one. They call it the valley of despair. This is when you're done. Anybody with me? What do I do now? Well, you're feeling defeated. You're tired. Have you ever said that before? I'm just tired. They had 10 hours sleep. They wake up. I'm just tired because they're tired doing nothing. Not moving, not growing. They're not excited anymore. They're not excited about anything. They mentally have checked out. You see people like that. They walk around like zombies. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. Are you in a business? If I ask you what you do and you don't say proudly that you're in this business, then you really should just leave. Okay? That's the reality of it. If I have to force somebody to want to do what we do, there's no point. What are we talking about here? It's like telling you to go to the gym. You should work out. Just forget it. You don't want to work out. Am I right or what? Now, not that you're not supposed to pull somebody up, but I'm saying in business, if they're just they don't want to be here, they don't have to be here. It's okay. But they quit. So people have to come to terms, and I'm going to say this, with realism. They got to get real about what they're doing. You got to ask yourself, how are you doing? I mean, you know what I love about meetings like this is the first time you had a chance to sit down and really think about things. When you hear Thomas talking, and maybe some of that stuff, and even me, I'm in the financial services arena, and I'm like, whoo, that's a lot. You know, he started vomiting on fees and all. I'm like, you know what it makes you do? It makes you reflect your own life for just a minute. Anybody with me? You think about, what am I doing? Where do I have that kind of passion that Thomas has in that side? What are you passionate about at anything? If I had you stand up here and tell us one thing that you're passionate about, what are you going to talk about? Jesus. That's a good one. But I mean, think about it. Some people aren't passionate about anything. But the whole point is, remember this, people lie, but numbers don't. Okay? So I love numbers because the numbers make up everything. All you got to do is look at your bank balance in your business and see, what did it yield me? And numbers don't lie. You could fake it. You could go, oh, it's not really there, but it's there. Numbers don't lie, okay? And then you get into what is called, and this is what I love, informed optimism. Everybody say that with me. Informed optimism. That means now you hear the right information. Now you're pumped because you're really pumped. There's a difference when someone has informed optimism versus someone who has uninformed optimism. Uninformed optimism, you'll know what I'm saying because they probably just joined that within a year. But when you've been in something 26 years, Thomas, how long have you been in the insurance world business? 5 years. Don, I'm going to ask you how old you are. How long have you been in the industry? Yeah. 4 years. You notice it didn't say 1 year. Am I right? Because in this industry, it's a little bit of staying power determines how real you are in the business. And most people, they'll leave the insurance and the financial services world because they're going to get caught up in the hype they're going to catch outside. And there's a lot of that outside. But they walk out, there's no stability on that. Then they realize they have to get a job because what they jumped into wasn't going to support their family, and they got to join about 20. I know guys who have like 7 businesses, and they're saying, that's multiple streams of income. No, it's not. That's one income making you less than $50,000. Not multiple streams, you're just not focused on anything. You guys got me? Or am I lost? You guys with me, right? Okay. You climbed out of the valley of despair, you're on your way to greatness. You see the benefits of your hard work. This is what I call informed optimism. You got out, you have to go through a time. How many of you have already been through a time in your life where you had to break out? Anybody with me on that? Or you had to break out. That's when you broke out of what is called the valley of despair. When you break out of that valley, now you're going to see the benefits of your work. You start to feel like what you did in stage 1, but it's real now. You got me? You wake up with the sense of purpose again. It becomes part of you. What I do is part of who I am. When I talk to Dondi or say Mark, this is not what they do. This is who they are. Are you with me? Many, this is just what I do. Your job, if you have a job, that's what you do, but you don't want to relate to it as this is who you are. You want to relate to it as this is my job. Who I am is different when I get home. Here, this is who we are at home, and this is what we do because we represent our business through our, with our life. Anybody following me, right? You're optimistic like you were in stage 1 now, but you have knowledge. You know what lies ahead of you. You know what you got to do, and you receive the results of it. So you want to get to success and fulfillment. Am I right? Success and fulfillment is the last phase. This is when you made it. All the hard work, all the effort you put out is now paying off. You're living the life you dreamed of in stage 1. You've overcome all your fears. You're fulfilled. You're living your highest version. Now your income matches your enthusiasm. Okay, most people are excited, but the income's not following. They're just excited, but their income is now matching their enthusiasm. That's different now. And they're a little bit different when it's real, the enthusiasm's different because you don't get too high, you don't get too low. I always recommend don't go too high, don't go too low. You guys got me? I always say right in the middle. Heads will turn when you walk into a room. How many want to walk into a room and they go, ooh, there goes Nate. You see Nate in that hat. He's like, ooh, he's cool. You could tell when someone's got it. You with me? There's this aura. When Dondi walks in the room, ooh, he's good looking. That dude got it. That dude. Am I right or right? Am I right? So that's when you get to success and fulfillment. So this is what it looks like, the emotional cycle of change. You start off here, and we're going to get you to a point today where uninformed optimism, and then all of a sudden you start to go to work, and then you're not excited anymore. This is when people start to quit right around here. This is where we're trying to get everybody at, right here. Can we just break past this and just go straight to the next level? What do you guys think? So that means that the information we give you today has to be real, has to be effective, has to be able to give you money quickly that when you do one deal, it could change your life. Okay, that means if I get you a deal and you make $18, let me give you an example, all right? So let's say you close a deal and you make $18. How excited are you going to do the next deal? Now, don't get me wrong, you are profitable. But you're profitable, right, Noel, with $18. Am I right or wrong? So that if you had to drive across the bridge and drive back home, let's say you live in the Bay Area and you had to drive, let's say, give me a city. You drive over Vallejo. You drive to Vallejo and you close a deal and you made $100. Then you drive back home and you say to your wife, "Dad, I had a great day, babe." How much you make? $100. Well, you had to pay for gas. You had to pay for toll. You had to pay gas back. And you had to pay taxes. So you made $50. And we have to go buy groceries now, and you're going to go do another sale and make another $100. It's not going to work. See, in my world, that doesn't make sense for me. Maybe my brain says the common sense corner. I call it the common sense corner. I go in this little corner, and I go, if I'm going to leave my wife from home, I want to make at least $2,000 at least. How's that sound? But what if I could show you a place that every one of you could walk out of here and make $5,000 a deal minimum? No, what if it was real information? No, I'm asking you, Shay, I'm talking to you at a table right now, me and you one-on-one. If I could show you a way, without a license, to make $5,000 a deal, and everybody wanted it, would you be excited? No, don't clap. I don't want to hear the clap. I want to hear it inside your core, inside your heart. How would you really feel? Honestly. It would change your life, is that right? But if that was in front of you, would you see it? Or is your pessimism so there that you don't see anything anymore? Because what we just went through in pandemic has ruined some entrepreneurs. You have been traumatized. Can't go to an appointment. You can't have coffee with someone before. You can't go to Starbucks. Remember, you go to Starbucks, have a cup of coffee, talk business. Remember that? But I have a team member I won't tell you what they're selling. Well, I'll let Randy do all that. But let me tell you, one of our team members in Hawaii has been piloting this program. And she's done about 17 deals, averaging around $7,000 per deal in about 2 weeks. So why don't you do the math on that? 17 times 7, what? Can anybody give me a calculator? What is that? Hello? 119, is that right? $119,000 2 weeks. Now, if you're struggling to make $5,000 at what you're doing now, I suggest you pay attention today. If your current business is not paying you $5,000 a month, then you need to freaking listen today and stop being negative and pessimistic, because you may have came into what God has given you as a blessing today. Because I'm going to tell you, what happened to me in the last month has been nothing more than life-changing from what I've seen. If you can't get out of here and see what I'm going to say, then you should not stay here. It's not meant for you anymore. Because what I've seen is life-changing. I say life-changing money. And it's a window of time. I would say about a 7-year window we're going to have over the next few years. And if you don't see it, you don't see it. How many were around in 2000? How many were still born? Anybody were not just born in 2000? How many were actually like working in 2000? I know you were, Raj, because you're like 70 now. Is that right? No, sorry, Raj. So how many were working? Remember, when I was in the insurance business in the 90s, I was at a World Financial Group in WMA at the time. And I started my own broker-dealer. I started working for AIG Advisor Group, Thomas, in 2000 when I left the financial services world of insurance. And one of my friends in 2003 tells me I should get into mortgage. And I didn't believe him. Or 2002, I didn't believe him. So right around 2003, I get started in mortgage behind, and I didn't realize how much money you can make in mortgage. I didn't realize it was like that. I was like, are you kidding me? So I was making over a multiple six-figure income in insurance, but I doubled that in the mortgage industry. And I got to run that mortgage industry for about a good, 6, 7 years. And when it died, I died too. So some of you don't realize I'm a reborn version. This person was reborn in 2009 because I actually died in 2008. Did you guys know that? I died. I literally died. Financially died. I lost all my money. I had a business that fell apart. I mean, I had the worst situation you could imagine right around 2009. And then all of a sudden I said, I'll never join a business like that again. But what if I was informed in 2021? What if I had a different perspective now? What if you knew there was a window? What would you do differently? What if you knew that the future is going to be a window of time, that one program is going to have everybody in the round is going to want it, and you'll be able to offer it without a license, and the average deal will make $5,000. Dondy's working on $23,000 on one deal. When he calls me the other night, Jeff, this is crazy, man. He don't even know what to say anymore. He goes, this is crazy, man. And he just says, this is crazy, man. Everybody say that with me. This is crazy, man. And I go, why is it crazy, Don? And I can hear Leanne in the back. She's excited. Where's Leanne? She's excited in the back. She's all pumped up. She's, we're so excited. I can hear their voices, right? And I go, how many IULs would it take to get $23,000? How many, if you don't know what an IUL is, anybody know what an IUL means? What is an IUL, Crystal? That's right. She was like, sure. Index Universal Life. Is that right? How many of those would you need to make $23,000? About 10 in a day, right? That would be hard. He had one. Is that right? If I say this, Donnie? Okay. $23,000 deal in one, maybe a couple hours. Is that pretty exciting or what? Hello? Am I? See what time is it? Is it lunch? You guys look crazy right now. Let me tell you something. You don't come to something like this at $22,000. Did you make $22,000 in your last deal? What are we talking about here? Why does it seem like such a struggle? I don't get it, okay? So are you here? Are you guys all still here right now? Are you guys here? You're still in informed pessimism. That's where you're at right now. So I look at people and I see informed pessimism. That's what I see. So I want to get you informed optimism, okay? You guys got me? So a couple things. Number one, write this down. Do this for me. We're going to take lunch, okay? We're going to do some recognition that we're going to have lunch. Stop putting wrong things in your mind. From now on, starting today, get all the negative out of your life. Is that okay, Mo? Let me tell you, you saw Mo right here? He was excited. Is that right? You know Mo's car just got broken into outside? He showed me a picture just right now. His window's broken. And his response to me was, don't worry, Jeff, this is a beautiful day. Some of you, I would have ruined your life. He goes, oh my God, that's all right. I'll deal with it later when I get out of here. Some people, that would have been stressing them out all day. How many would have been, oh, my window. That good? Did they steal anything? No. Call the insurance company. It'll be done in a day. Am I right? Some people that ruin their life. But not Mo, not Super Mo over there, right? Stop putting the wrong things in. Be careful what you listen to. Be careful the books you're be careful the podcast you're listening to. Decisive Point's okay, though. You can listen to that one. Be careful of the news you constantly feed your brain in. Be careful with that because the media's agenda is not your agenda. Okay? The media's agenda to feed ratings into you is not your agenda. That is their agenda. So be careful with that. Also, comfortable versus grow. Do you want to grow or do you want to be comfortable? That you lie. Let me tell you something. I have people who registered for this event, okay? And they told us 2 weeks ago they were going to show up. And you know what? It's uncomfortable to change venues. It's uncomfortable to drive to San Francisco. Isn't it right? It's not easy to get in San Francisco, find parking, go through the traffic, get on the bridge. Am I right or wrong? So I love the fact that we had it in San Francisco because I find out who's for real. Like who's in, who's out. They're not here, they're out. That's what I told Mark. They're not here, they're out. How's that sound? You're like, Jeff, that's kind of harsh. Well, it doesn't matter. They're not in anyway. All I got to do is show them something tough, and they're going to quit. Oh, by the way, we have to go to a meeting in Hawaii. In Hawaii? I got to get a plane ride? Come on. Comfort versus growth. Anybody work out in here? Okay, is it comfortable? You ever go in there, oh, it's so comfortable. No, it's not. It's uncomfortable. Anytime you're uncomfortable, you grow. Anytime you're comfortable, you don't do nothing. You want comfortable blankets all the time? You want comfortable temperature in your room? You want comfortable all the time? You know what that means? You're never going to grow. Okay? You want everything to be comfortable all the time? It's not going to grow. You know when your relationship grows? When it's challenged. You find out what your spouse is made of when you fight. Am I right? You don't find out what she's made of when everything's rosy. When everything's rosy, they expect it. It's like here. You know how much it costs you to get in here to actually go to the meeting? It's free. You know, meetings, people charge people $200 to go to a meeting. You get in here for free and you still complain. Like it's just costs nothing. I had to pay for parking. Are you kidding me? It was free to get in. It was $25 parking. Come on. You'll pay $25 parking to go to Nordstrom. Am I right or wrong? So, I mean, who's fooling who is when you come out of the pandemic and people turn crazy. So we may have to shape that up before we get into this next division. I'm excited about this next division, but I also want people to get rich that deserve it and have good character because it's going to require that to help people. Are you guys excited about the new division? I haven't said anything about it, but you're pretty pumped, right? So when we start asking people, can you come here? And they start giving you the la, 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 like, oh, I got the dog. I got to pick up my jacket, you know, all this stuff. Forget it. Move on. This is not babysit day. It's not romper room. You don't show up, don't show up. Do your thing. Go back and watch TV all day. Go back and watch the news. Go back and play around. Go back and play around with your nothing. But if you want to build something special, now don't get me wrong, I'm all about being home. Anybody know me? I like being home with the family too. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying when it comes down to making money and changing my life, I'm also not going to trade stupidity for ignorance with this. I know what time it is right now. It's very critical. Am I too harsh or? Okay. What do you focus on? I already talked about that. A couple things, okay? 6 keys that changed my life. Just write this down, and we're going to have a recognition, okay? Number 1, you got to have confidence in what we do, who we are. We're aligned with one of the largest companies in the world. You're going to hear about a multi-billion-dollar company. You'll hear about that after we get out of lunch. So you got to be confident about who we are and what we do. Number 2, you got to be consistent. Consistent means, are you consistent? Like, let's say, for example, I see Carlos, and I see Carlos gets excited when something comes around, and he's excited on Monday, but by Friday, he's not excited anymore. He's not what? Consistent. So that means that you're just in uninformed optimism, and it wears off right around Friday. Okay? That means if that's you, you're excited Monday, and I started Friday, you're inconsistent, and it'll never last, and no one's going to follow that. You want people to follow? Be consistent. Even if no one follows. Because eventually they're going to follow because you're the only one that was consistent. Because everybody else was bouncing around while you were consistent. They're going to follow the one who's consistent. Are you guys following me on that? Consistent in your schedule, a mode of operation, how you work on a daily basis. Do you work on time blocks? Do you have a schedule in your day where you actually work? Look at your schedule. Maybe your schedule sucks. How's that sound? Maybe you put too much time to watch a show on Friday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, or you're playing video games for 2 hours, but you're too busy to do your business, but you have no problem playing video games for 2 hours. Now, I'm not saying video games can't be fun. I'm with you, but all the time, unless you're making money, right? And then it's just a waste of time. Unless you're 12. I know 50-year-old, 12-year-olds. Or unless you lack focus. You can't focus on one thing at a time. Then you start looking at, well, what's wrong? Why do I do that? Why do I not focus on one thing? Well, because maybe you're used to bouncing around, and then we got to help you focus on that. And that means you may have to get into a team of people that are going to help work with you in that situation, and they're going to keep you straight. You got to be careful who you hang around with, okay? You hang around a bunch of bouncing around people, you're bouncing around right with them. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. Yeah, me too. This is cool. We should all hang out. But you hang around the guys that are focused, they get focused as well. You see Casey, let me tell you something. Casey's a 23-year-old guy, but he's hungry, man. He's hungrier than old people. He seems like an old guy to me. He gets in the office right after I do. I show up, here comes Casey. He acts like the world is like short. I'm like, dude, you're like half my age. Even more than that. That's pathetic. And he's hungry. You don't see that all the time. You know why? Because they're at uninformed or informed pessimism at this point. They're negative about it. Now they're negative about themselves and their own result. Discipline is doing what you got to do, not because we want to do it. I'm just saying this stuff because before we get into this next phase of the green division, I just want to let you guys know something. To get into the green division that Randy's going to talk about, it's not as simple as I'm here today, so I'm in. No, there's a process. We're going to talk about that today. I need you guys to really understand that. Is that cool with you guys? Okay. We're going to teach you the skills. So in our business, you're going to need to learn some skills. One skill, you got to talk to people. Is that okay? You got to talk to people. You got to like people. Okay. You got to like people, and you can't want to gouge them. Okay. One thing about being in the financial services arena, you can't gouge them because you'll lose your license. So when we bring on this new arena, it also puts a risk. The reason why Thomas said, he's said it very clearly, it's a separate entity because he doesn't want people that are gouging people associated with the compliance department. You guys got me on that? So we want to be careful who we bring on. It's a very unique relationship that we're bringing on at this point. And we got to have goals. I want to ask you a question. Did you write any goals for your month or your week or your day or your year? What was your goal this week? What was your goal this year? What was your goal? Some of you may not ever had a goal. I know people plan for their weddings longer than they plan for their lives. Am I right? They're like, I got a wedding planning. You ever see people that can't go anywhere as they're planning for a wedding? As soon as the wedding's over, they're so tired. It's like, it's just a wedding. I think a wedding's easier than what we plan here, except food. Like, babe, let's go get remarried right now. Everybody get food. It's a wedding. Am I right? We just go from one church to the building, the reception in a hall. Okay, here we are. How hard is that? But they make that a whole year plan. We're planning our wedding. I could plan their wedding for free in 10 minutes. Yes or no? Lock the venue down, get me a guy to do pictures, video, done. Ah! Now what else could I do? I see people, they talk about that all year like it's a graduation from college. Come on. So we got to start getting into the real side of this, okay? So let's talk about this real quick. Here are our company verticals. You're going to see this a lot. This division is so exciting, I don't know what to tell you. I'm even wearing it today. Okay? I'm wearing the green today because I'm so pumped about it because when I was in your seat, I was looking for a non-licensed product to get me paid. What time is it, by the way? I got to go. Okay. So how many could commit? We're going to take a lunch break for an hour and 15. Is that cool? You're on your own. Okay? So go get lunch. Oh, by the way, before we get lunch, I want to recognize some people. Is that cool? Can I recognize people? So the first people, real quick, can you guys do me a favor? Snap out of it real quick. Hold on. No, not yet, Mark. Take it easy. Go like this for me real quick. Okay? And when I say someone's name, clap like it's your name. Is that cool? Or like your kid's name. That's my daughter Shirley's name. Just pretend it's her name, your kid's name when I say the name. These are our rising stars. So I say their name, they're going to get an award. I have no idea what they're getting, but Brianna knows. Okay, so you're going to go look for Brianna, and she's going to give a gift for you. And then after everybody gets their awards, real quick, we're going to take a lunch. Is that cool? If that's cool, say that's cool. All right, Teresa and Bidu, give her a hand. Come on. Erica Jenkins, come on up. Ruby Romero, Maria Silvestri, come on. Just run. Alicia South, she's in Hawaii. Jane Arcio, Rick and Ann Chavez, come on, Rick. Come on, Rick and Ann, come on up. Alex Cortez, come on, it's your name. Betty Fox, where's Betty Fox? Portia Berger, is that Berger? Berger, come on, Portia. And these people, give a higher clap. These are VIPs, real quick. Okay. Donnie and Leanne, give a hand. Come on. Mark and Cyril, come on, give a hand. John and Sandra, come on, John, let's go. Jack and Kim, Big Jack, let's go. Randy and Nancy, come on. Give a hand, come on. Daddy and Mende, come on, Daddy. Thomas Bass, come up here, Thomas, let's go. Brianna Sims, of course. Hey, give Brianna a hand, you guys. Mr. Casey Blass, who is our rookie of the quarter. Kevin, come up here. They're going to get an iLeverage water bottle. All right, you see that? The iLeverage water bottle. McMood Id, where's Mo Id? Come on, Mo. Mr. Jordan Thompson, where you at, Jordan? Hey, what happened to Jordan? Hook him up, hook him up. Rookie of the quarter is Mr. Casey Blass. Give him a special hand, you guys. He has a special jacket that is on order, and he gets it next week. We didn't have his size because he's only a medium. They don't store mediums. They store like large and extra large. So he gets his jacket next week, okay? And then we are having our lunch break. All right, you guys? Hey, go have your lunch. Come back at 1 o'clock. Is that good? I'll see you guys at 1. Hey, don't be late. You're late, you miss a lot. We lock the door at 1 o'clock, all right?
Before we get started, I do want to introduce a very special individual that we have to introduce our new division. I recently got to know this person over the last month and a half. I believe in his relationship with Jeff in our company. They have had a great, wonderful business partnership as well as friendship over the past 15 plus years. He is somebody with great integrity. You can see the energy that he brings to our company and our division, which is why we have him being in charge of our renewable energy division. So please, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, Randy Wilson.
Right on. Hey, did you guys notice how Casey had to pull me up on stage? It's like after the years set in, you need a little help getting up on stage. Guys, it is very, very amazing to be here today. If you guys are excited about being part of the newest division of iLeverage, let me hear some noise. All right. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm just going to tell you up front that there is so much information about this thing today that there's no way we're going to be able to give you all the information, okay? I'm just telling you that now. But we're going to give you enough information so you get excited about being part of iLeverage. First and foremost, let's give it up to Mr. Jeffrey Delgado for bringing this incredible opportunity to us. It's all about relationships. It's all about integrity. It's all about the people, because I believe no matter what you're selling, no matter what your products are, no matter what it is, you can have broken glass in a bag, but if you're doing it with the right people, you can be successful, right? All right. So let's get in and talk about this. First of all, let me ask you guys some questions. How many of you guys know people that have a roof? Anybody know somebody that's got a roof? Anybody knows anybody that when they walk outside, the sun touches their skin? Yes or no? You guys know people? How many of you guys agree that we see the sun every single day? Yeah? How many of you guys agree that the sun, no matter what's going on, is probably the greatest source of power there is, right? It affects every single person in the world. Would you guys agree with me on that? So if we could construct an opportunity that utilizes the sun and helps us capitalize on that sun, would that be exciting? Yes or no? Be pretty exciting. So let's talk about how iLeverage is now launching iLeverage Green, where we're taking full advantage, capitalizing on renewable and sustainable energy. If that sounds a little exciting, make some noise for me. All right. So guys, before I get into that, I'll just tell you a quick story. Just a few weeks ago, like Casey said, my dear friend Jeff Delgado gave me a call, and he said, Jeff, when Jeff calls you out of the blue, when you get a call from Jeff Delgado, you don't ever like take that call for granted. You know what I mean? Like if he calls you, then you know it's gonna be something. So, when he sent me a message and he said, Randy, we gotta talk. And I said, okay, what happened? But he said, no, it's not like that. He goes, I want to talk with you about something. And he told me about iLeverage. And, I always knew Jeff did well in financial services. If you guys don't know, Jeff actually introduced me to financial services 15 years ago. And so, getting into financial services was a major part of my life. So when Jeff said, we're gonna expand this business, we're gonna take it to another level. And I was like, well, how are we gonna do that, Jeff? He said, Randy, we're getting into solar. Now, how many guys heard of solar before? Like, oh, okay, my friend told me about it, a family member has it on their roof or something like that, right? Anybody ever think about solar and just kind of go, right? Be honest. Not solar, whatever, all right? But then he said, well, we are partnering with Sunrun, the #1 solar company in the U.S. #1 company in the U.S. And then he said, Randy, they're flying us out to Utah to meet with the executives. Right? The executives, right? And then he asked the magic question. He said, will you go with me? I said, of course, right? So we went to Utah. We sat down with the executives of the company. Now, mind you, these are all 30-something millionaires, okay? And then when we were there, the executives said, we want to introduce you to one of the owner types, right? One of the top guys. 30-something billionaire. Took us to lunch at the country club, right? We were at the country club. These guys painted a picture for us, and as you can see, we haven't slept since, right? That's how great this picture was. When you think about where solar is going and how big it is, even though you might have heard of it, even though you might say, solar, it's been around for a while, it hasn't even begun where solar is going. Now, we're going to go over some slides here, and I just want you guys to understand that I'm not giving you a presentation today. We're going to have a conversation because the fact is you guys are all smart people, right? Raise your hand if you're a smart person. Everybody feel like you're smart? So when I tell you about what's going on and how iLeverage is positioned to be the premier solar provider in the U.S. through our premier relationship with the #1 solar company in the country, soon in the world, I don't want you to think that we're just here flipping solar panels, right? We're not here we're just selling solar like any of the other little ones you heard of. We have a premier relationship with the #1 solar provider in the country who is not trying to just be a solar company, but they are literally becoming the next utility company. Do you guys understand what I mean? This is not like, this solar company, that solar company. Oh, it's the same thing, solar. No, other solar companies are just flipping solar panels. We are trying to compete with PG&E. Raise your hand if you would love to compete with PG&E. Yes or no? All right. So let's talk about this a little more. So we're going to talk about why iLeverage green. Everybody say green. All right. So there's many reasons, but I'm going to the rebel is going to come out in me a little bit. Anybody got a little rebel in them? Like you stand for something, like you have a cause, a mission, a purpose, right? You want to fight the power, okay? So to speak, right? Kind of a pun there. So let's talk about now, we're going to talk about California. I know a lot of you guys are from other states and stuff like that. But let's first of all talk about this PG&E guys. PG&E, they have the monopoly on power. Anybody can make a choice. If you want power in your house, who do you call? PG&E. There's no question. There's no choice. There's no nothing. But the problem is PG&E is holding a bag on all the power in the whole state. And you don't have any choice in that matter. Meanwhile, are their rates going up or are they going down? Which one do you think? Now, here's a question. How many of you guys been paying PG&E all your life? And you expect to pay PG&E for the rest of your life, don't you? It's no question. I got sons. Those are my sons. Wave your hand, sons. Anybody got kids? You know that conversation you have with your kids? Okay, son, when you move out, you're going to first have to get some PG&E, right? You know that, right? We already know this, but PG&E is going up in prices. Why? Well, because they can. Not to mention all of the natural disasters, all of the regulatory things. Anytime PG&E has any problem, they get sued. What do? They transfer the hike in the expense that they have, and who do they transfer it to? They transfer it to you. How do you feel about that? Anybody like that? Oh yeah, please, PG&E, give us all your, rate hikes, right? So it is no surprise that the cost of electricity from the traditional means, the way we know of it, and you got to ask yourself, well, what is electricity anyways? How is it even generated? I mean, we take it for granted. We flip the switch, the lights come on. That's about as far as we know. But understand the cost of flipping your lights on, using your microwave oven, keeping your food cold. All of that's going to cost you more and more and more and more, right? And let's face it, guys. We're getting older, and the fixed expense of electricity is going to be an expense of life that we have to deal with. Would you guys agree with me on that? Yes or no? All right. So let's talk about iLeverage and our timing. Everybody say timing. Timing is everything. Would you agree with me on that? Absolutely. Now let's talk about what Mr. Warren Buffett. Everybody know who Warren Buffett is? Like one of the richest guys in the world, right? So would you take advice from a guy who's the richest man in the world? Yes or no? Would you take advice? If he said something, would you key in? When he talks, would you listen? Yes or no? So he says, energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history. Okay. Energy deregulation, which basically means the ability for us to choose other providers other than just PG&E, will be the largest transfer of wealth in history. How many guys are starting to feel it a little bit of where we're going with this? Yes or no? Is it just me? Am I the only one excited? So, thank you, Casey, in the back. All right, so Warren Buffett, richest man in the world, says the largest wealth transfer is in deregulation of energy. So, timing is everything. Let's talk about megatrends. Everyone say megatrends. Every few years, a megatrend cycles into the modern world. You guys seen things like Airbnb, yeah? Like, what's the Uber, right? Or what's the one you deliver your food with? DoorDash, right? There's all kinds of these things. These are called disruptors. You guys heard of these before. Megatrends that are happening. I remember cell phones. Remember who was around when cell phones was like a brick that you carried around? Anybody remember those? Oh, some of you will say I wasn't born yet. Some of you guys have been alive and you don't know what life is like without a cell phone, right? But has cell phones transferred changed everything about our lives, right? It's changed everything about our lives. Solar energy is the powerful megatrend heading into this part of the century. Now, I know, and Jeff said that he talked about it, how much this COVID thing has changed our lives, right? COVID has changed our lives, but something that continues on and continues to be the hugest opportunity of our lifetime, of this century, is solar. You guys with me on this, yes or no? I know some of you guys got lunch butt right now, so your eyes are dimming, okay? Solar energy is projected to more than double by 2024. More than double. The solar megatrend is changing the way energy is produced, managed, and controlled as power becomes less centralized. Let me ask you guys a question. How much money do you think PG&E is making on providing all of you guys power? Would you say hundreds of thousands, millions, or billions? Would you say a couple of billions, or would you say tens of billions? you're all wrong. It's actually hundreds of billions. Now imagine this, with hundreds of billions of dollars on the table and deregulation is coming to a neighborhood near you, you get to scoop out a big chunk of that hundreds of billions. How do you feel right now? Anybody excited about that? All right, good. Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. So, So timing is everything. In 2020 alone, solar power experienced a 37% growth in the United States. 37%. In fact, according to the SEIA, which is an organization or a regulatory body that regulates the solar industry, says there will be 42% more solar panels installed in the United States between 2021 and 2025 than the solar market installed during the last 5 years. What that means for you and I sitting in this room right now is that opportunity couldn't be better than right here, right now. Are you guys with me on this? Let's go on. Over the last 20 years, the price of electricity has gone up by more than 60%. The U.S. Energy Information Agency projects that residential electricity prices will continue to rise by at least 1% a year over the next 5 years. So even if your electric usage doesn't increase, your bills are still going to end up being more expensive. That's saying even if you go, well, I'm going to cut back on my electricity, it doesn't matter because power itself is more and more of an expensive utility. It's going to keep on going up. How many guys right now are thinking, man, we got to change this. We got to have some more options than just this PG&E stuff. Yes or no? What about your friends and your family? How many of you guys would like your friends and family would like to help them save more money on their power? Yes or no? Yes. So here's the thing I want you guys to understand as financial services professionals. If the expense of electricity or energy is a fixed cost and it's going higher and higher and higher, if we save people money on those expenses, that leaves a nice chunk of available funds to do what? I'm sorry? Save, invest, all the stuff that you guys do, right? So understand this is a multifaceted approach, right? It gets better. It gets better. Everybody say better. Financial forward thinking. Solar is a financial decision. Financial decision. The average solar homeowner goes on to save tens of thousands of dollars on their electricity costs over the 25-plus year lifespan of their solar system. Now, you guys are financial services professionals. We're in the financial services industry. Our goal is to help people take available funds that they have and invest it, put it in life insurance, do what they have to for their family. They save thousands, tens of thousands of dollars going solar. How would you like to have those tens of thousands of dollars going into the additional policies and products that you guys offer? Yes or no? You guys starting to get the picture here, yeah? How about this? Solar is a low-risk, high-reward investment. Solar panels provide a low-risk mix of savings and steady, increasing returns that can rival the returns of more traditional investments like stocks and bonds. Can you imagine that? You saving customers money is better than them taking their money and throwing it in the stock market, right? All right, let's go on. Solar frees up capital to reinvest elsewhere. If you get anything from today's talk, I want you to just tattoo this one on your brain. Okay? Solar frees up capital to reinvest elsewhere. All right, let's go on. Solar helps save for retirement. That's the other one you need to tattoo on your brain. All right? Solar helps save for retirement. I mean, when you think about it, the rising cost of electricity is cost prohibitive to retirement. But now we have a solution to that, yeah? You guys with me? All right, let's go on. All right, so let's introduce a premier partnership with Sunrun. Sunrun, the #1 solar company in the U.S. Again, Sunrun is not just your average solar company. And you might go out there and you'll find other solar companies, ABC Solar, XYZ Solar, and they'll go, oh, well, what's your this? And what's your cost of your panels? And listen, while these guys are trying to be solar companies, Sunrun is becoming the next utility company. Do you guys see the difference, yeah? All right. So let's talk about this. Sunrun and Vivint Solar. Why is Vivint Solar so important? Because Sunrun is #1 and Vivint Solar was #2. But we just bought Vivint Solar. Okay? So now there is no #2. It's like #1 and #3, okay? So the Sunrun acquisition of Vivint Solar dramatically transformed the entire residential solar industry. Despite already being the #1 residential solar provider in the country, Sunrun acquired Vivint Solar for a whopping $3.2 billion. Remember that billionaire that I told you we went to lunch with? Well, he was part of Vivint. He just got bought out. It made him an instant billionaire. That's proof to tell you, though, why would a company go out and pay $3 billion to capture the market share of #2? Think about that. There must be, you gotta understand, there must be something going on if a company's gonna go out and pay $3 billion for another company. Would you guys agree with me on that? So, let's go on. Here's some of the attributes of the partnership now between Sunrun and Vivint Solar. Both were behemoths and pioneers in the solar industry. Here's a interesting little piece of information, though. Sunrun was the company that invented putting solar panels on the roof. How about that? That's who we work with. So they have almost 500,000 customers now, 27% customer growth. On and on and on. You can see that being a partner with Sunrun puts us in a very unique position. We don't have any competition. There is no other solar company. Oh, well, what about these guys? What about those guys? If you sit down and go apples to apples, you'll soon realize it's not apples to apples. It's apples to oranges. You can't compare Sunrun to any other platform out there for solar. Are you guys with me? Yes or no? All right. All right, so let's go on. Okay, I love this slide. Here's the crazy thing. Have you ever really thought about how you get your power to your house? Have you ever thought about that? Like, what happens? Why do we even need solar? Like, why is that even a thing? Why is there a need for an alternative to the current way we get power? And let's talk about that. When you flip your light switch on, what really is going on here? So let's talk a little bit about how we get our power. First of all, there is a long line of activities that go on from the time you get your power is generated to the time that you flip your light switches on in your house. You got to have generation. Now, when you talk about, how many of you guys heard of things like, renewable energy, sustainable energy? Have we heard these terms before, yes or no? How many of you guys heard this one? Protecting the environment, protecting the planet. You guys heard this kind of stuff before? Well, the good news is, or actually, why traditional power is bad for the environment is because typically, what do you got to do? You got to blow up the earth to get the coal out. Then you got to take the coal to the factory so they can convert it into power and electricity, and then they convert it through these transmission stations and wires and towers. Anybody see wires and stuff going down the freeway? You see these big towers going on? And then all of that goes around to the distribution center. And every step of the way, do you think this is free or does this cost money to go through this, right? So if it's costing money through this whole process, through the distribution, the cables and the wires, and then you consume it over here, you flip your light switch on and you go, oh, we got lights, right? But you didn't know that it went through all of this to get to you, right? When they say that energy is going up in cost, it's not just because electricity is expensive. It's because look at all that's involved with getting your electricity traditionally. How many guys would like to see an alternative? I mean, like, is there an easier way to do this, yes or no? So that's when we talk about generating power from your home, solar, okay? So imagine this. Instead of going through all of that craziness that we just showed you, how about put some solar panels on your roof, collect power from the sun, which is forever, and then just generate the power and convert it right at your house, and then it supplies you power for your whole household. And is there other things coming like electric cars and smart homes and stuff like that? Do you guys see where we're going with this, yes or no? So now you kind of get to see something. We're not just talking about selling solar. We're talking about being part of a transition that is going on in the whole world. But you are here at the beginning of it. Thanks to iLeverage. Let's give Jeff Delgado another hand, okay? So you got to understand something, guys. We are positioning ourselves and capitalizing ourselves into one of the biggest trends on the planet today. Are you guys with me on this? All right. Trying to wake you guys up a little bit. So here's a cool thing. Okay, now here's a cool thing. You have to be approved for solar. You don't just get solar because you want it. I mean, you might want it, but at the same time, you got to be a homeowner, okay? You got to have a passing FICO score, okay? You got to calculate your sun hours, and you got to have a roof, okay? But how many guys agree with me that this is simple stuff? Because who do you know that doesn't, maybe they're not a homeowner, but everyone has a home. Everyone lives somewhere. Everyone has a credit score, right? Everyone has sun hours. Everyone has a roof. Who's our market? Everybody. You guys with me on this? And we already agreed that we're going to pay power bills for the rest of our lives. Are you guys with me? Yes? All right. So here's the good news. Okay? Here's the good news. The cost, because I know that's a lot. Sometimes that's the big thing. Either one, you're thinking, well, how much do I got to pay? Or you're thinking, well, how much do I got to charge my friends and family? I don't want to charge them anything, right? And I love the financial services industry for what we do for clients. But here's the good news. When you add solar to your plethora of things that you offer, we do not collect any money from our clients who buy solar from us. There's no cost to them. We're going to talk about that in a second. But this is what's exciting, because I know I've talked to people about solar in the past, and even in my own ignorance, because I just didn't know. People would say solar this, solar that, and I'd be thinking, oh, how much does it cost? What's it going to cost? I don't want to lean on my house, or I don't want to loan. Anybody been there before? I don't want to loan, I don't want to lean, I don't want to lease. The 3 L's, right? We don't want all that stuff. But what is cool about solar today is that there is offerings where there is absolutely no cost that comes from the client. Anybody would like to sell something that only has savings for the client and you don't have to collect any money from the client? Anybody open for that kind of sell? Okay, all right, just making sure. All right, let's go on. Almost done. Why solar? 1, no cost to the customer with a purchase power agreement. Anybody excited about that? Yes or no? No cost to the customer. All they have to do is agree to put the solar panels on their roof, but they don't own the solar panels. So there's no cost to them. They just now purchase their power from Sunrun, the new utility company. Right? Let's go on. How about this? Lower the lifelong cost of utility bills, right? You know you're going to pay power every day of your life, every month of your life. But now you have cheaper, cleaner energy from your solar company, from the sun, versus the traditional crazy way through PG&E. You guys with me on that, yeah? All right. How about this? Now you have a choice. You have a choice. You're not just lumped in with PG&E and whatever they have to do. Oh, we just got sued for $8 billion for a transformer that burned down in the forest, right? And burned down the whole neighborhood, and they got sued, and now they're going into bankruptcy, and they have to pay all their lawyers. Who pays for that? You do. But when it's solar, hey, it's right off your roof. Are you guys with me on this? Yes or no? All right. I think I'm starting to feel you guys a little bit. Any of the rebel coming out of you guys a little bit? How about this? Better for the environment. The customer participates in the effort to find renewable and sustainable solutions to help the planet. Anybody a planet lover like some of us, right? Okay. All right, let's go on. No power blackouts, especially here in California. Every time the wind changes directions, they're threatening to turn our power off, right? Especially Silicon Valley. So, no power blackouts. You will be the person with your lights and heat on when everybody else in the neighborhood is gone dark. You're the one house, everybody's going to be knocking on your door. All right? So does solar sound like a good idea? Yes or no? All right. Let's go on. A couple more things. Let's talk about the opportunity. Now, if you understand this, are you right now a little bit excited about the opportunity with solar? Yes or no? Okay, so we're going to now talk with you really quickly about how iLeverage is going to help position you to capitalize on this solar movement. Yeah? Anybody interested? All right, great. So first of all, we have something called a referral partner. Everyone say referral partner. Now, the great thing about referral partner is it appreciates the fact that many of you guys are professionals in your own right, doing what you do best. You are financial services professionals, maybe life insurance or financial advisors, or now we got Medicare. We got all these kind of things. Maybe you run your own agency. Maybe you got your own professional thing going, right? But hey, everybody recognizes the opportunity in solar, and so you want to get a piece of the action. Here's all you have to do is become a referral partner with iLeverage. People that don't want to learn about renewable energy, but want to refer their existing clients for a referral fee and have a professional iLeverage agent process your client for you. And you just want to collect a referral fee. Is that okay? Can you guys see how some people might not want to get all involved with the details, but they'll refer your friends and family, or you'll refer your friends and family or your clients, and you just get a referral fee? Would that be okay? Yes or no? All right. Here's the second opportunity. It's what we call field consultant. Everyone say field consultant. With a field consultant, you're going to take this solar thing a little more serious. As a matter of fact, you're probably going to take it a lot more serious. Why? Because there's a lot of training and technicality to being a field consultant. As a matter of fact, we might even, if you come to us and say, hey, I just want to be a field consultant, we may have to have an interview with you first, because when you become a field consultant, you can't take that part lightly. Now, in a minute, I'm going to show you the commissions here. And a lot of people will get excited about the commissions at the field consultant, but a lot of times it's just you see money and your eyes get big, but you're not ready to commit to this level. Do you guys with me on that? If you're not ready to commit to this level, then it's probably best that you're just a referral partner and be successful with that, as opposed to trying to be a field consultant, but you're not successful at that level. You guys with me on that? All right. So field consultant says learn, apply, and process client applications, but it's a monitored commitment. Everyone say monitored. iLeverage enrollment required, of course, attend weekly trainings, active outreach, and marketing. That's the part we're talking about. If you look at these guys like the Caseys and the Marks and the Moes, these guys are active agents in solar. You're going to hear from them in a little while. So let's talk about compensation. Everyone say compensation. All right, guys, this is the fun part. You guys are like, shut up, Randy, just show me the money, right? All right, so here's how it works. If you're going to be a referral partner, a referral agent, then you're in position to receive $1,000 referral fee just for taking your client and saying, hey, do you want to find a way to save more money on your utility bills so that you can fill in the blank? If I can save you a couple of $100 on your power bill, now you can what? Invest more money, save, go on a trip, vacation. My wife, vacation, right? What else? What else can you do? You save $100, $200 a month. What can you do? Get a life insurance policy, right? Are you guys starting to see the picture here? Yes or no? So for just doing that and referring your clients to us as of agents, you can receive $1,000 referral fee. Now that's $1,000 that's a comma check, right? Now, how many can you make to make it worth your while? How many guys know 5 friends? Yes or no? Anybody know 5 friends that's got a roof and the sun shines down on them every day? Yes, no, or yes or no? So if you took 5 referrals per month and you those customers, they became customers. We got solar for them. Their application got processed, and now they got solar. That's a $5,000 a month additional income. Additional income on top of the business you're already doing and whatever your profession is. You guys with me? Yes or no? That's a $60,000 additional annual income, to put it in perspective. Now, come on, guys. People go to college for 5 to 8 years to hopefully come out, cross their fingers, and make $60,000 a year. And you are doing this going, here, call my friend Carlos, and you can do solar, right? Not to mention that once those customers do solar and save a significant amount on their power bill, now they're looking at you like, hey, I think I can do that insurance policy now, right? Are you guys with me, yes? All right, let's go on. The referral partner looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, right? So let's talk about the field consultant. All right. The field consultant, this is a little different. When you as a field consultant get a customer for solar, now you guys got to understand something here. Years ago, Jeff got me into the mortgage business, insurance, and me and Jeff and Carlos and Eric Ed Powell over there and Mark Sonoris over there. We ran a huge operation. We had meetings, it felt like every night of the week. It'd be packed in there. Hundreds of people every week would come through our office, and it was probably, I don't know, the best time of our lives, right? It was the best time of our lives. We were making money, right? We were making money. Your commission checks had commas in it, right? And we would do all of these great things. But you know what's funny? Is since, and Jeff was talking about earlier, since the mortgage industry crash, we really haven't had the same kind of situation happen anymore. We haven't had the same kind of feel. The same kind of money hasn't been available in something legitimate. You know what I mean? Until solar just came into our lives. One of the reasons why we're so excited, so stinking excited about this thing, is because this is like making mortgage money again. One of our mentors used to call it BQM. Eric, you remember BQM? You know what BQM stands for? Big Quick Money. Okay? Anybody interested in big quick money, yes or no? I got one person in the back. Hey, sister, right on, okay? Big quick money. You do one transaction, you can make, on average, on the lower end of the scale, and we don't want to show you guys, I think Jeff revealed what Dondi has a deal working in the pipeline for 4 times this much. But imagine doing one transaction, and you get a $5,000 commission check from that. I mean, are you guys all rich already and $5,000 doesn't impress you? Okay. $5,000 for one transaction. Here's how you do it. What's your name, sir? Danny. Hey, Danny, are you saving money using solar yet? Are you saving money on solar yet? Not yet. Well, hey, why don't you send me a copy of your phone or your PG&E bill? Let me check out some numbers for you, and I'll get back to you and show you how much you can save with solar. What would you say to that, Danny? Okay. All I got to do is give you my phone bill. I keep saying phone bill. Your power bill? Yeah, that's it. Just give me a copy of your power bill. I'll run some numbers for you, and then I'll get back to you. Now, is that a high-pressure sale? Does that make him feel uncomfortable? Am I doing something helpful for him? Is he going to benefit from me running some numbers for him? Do you guys see what's going on here? For doing that, you make $5,000 per transaction, per solar deal. How many of you guys have a lot more respect for seeing that guy standing in Costco? you know that guy standing in Costco waiting for you to, hey, you want some solar? All right. Okay. So, all right, now you're going to go up to him and give him a high five, right? All right, so here's the deal. Oh. You can make $3,000,000. So 5 sales per month, if you were doing the same transactions here, that's $25,000 monthly income. You know what one of my mentors told me once? He said, Randy, if you're not trying to make somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000 a month, forget about it. And so you rack your brain thinking, how am I going to make $25,000, $30,000 a month? Can you do it with solar? Yeah. Do you got to break your neck? No, this is just 5. Just 5. Hey, give me a copy of your power bill. Let me run some numbers. Right? If you take that annually, it's $3,000,000. $300,000 a year income by just referring 5 customers to solar. Now, again, I want to respect the fact that we're all financial services professionals in here. And let's tack on whatever you're doing now, but now tack on an additional $300,000 income. Anybody excited about that a little bit? Just a little bit. All right. Let's wrap up here, okay? The premier partnership between iLeverage and Sunrun. Here's how we get started. You join iLeverage with your recruiter's agent code. So if you're not in iLeverage already, then you got to connect with the person basically who invited you here, your recruiter, and you have to get their code, and you'll sign in. You'll get signed up on our website, and then the admin. Who's Brianna? You guys know Brianna. She's going to send you a welcome email that says, welcome to iLeverage. Then you download iLeverage, the mobile app. How many of you guys got the mobile app? Anybody not have the mobile app yet? You got to download the mobile app. You got to have it because this is what's going to give you the key tool to submit your solar deals. And we'll talk about that in a second. Now, for field consultants, the iLeverage admin will actually submit your application from iLeverage to Sunrun. Now, guys, let me just tell you guys this, okay? I want to give you this now. Sunrun is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They're $15 or $16 billion corporation. So the fact is that when you align yourself with iLeverage into Sunrun, this is a big deal. Sunrun does not just play, with their employees and their relationships. They take it very serious. As a matter of fact, you will have an I-9. They want to do a background check on you. You got to do modules and training. This isn't just, solar, and then, I'm just going to tell my friend and make $1,000. It doesn't work like that. You're actually going to have to go through their onboarding process. Raise your hand if you're going through the onboarding process. It's a lot of work. It's not as simple as you might think. So you're going to receive, once you receive your welcome email from Sunrun and complete all requirements, which is a series of training modules and some little tests to take, then you gain access to Sunrun's sales platform, and that's when you can then start doing some transactions. But here's the thing. For us in California, there's even another step. It's called the HIS license. We in California actually have to wait until we get an HIS license, technically, to do transactions. It takes about 30 days. The good news is that thanks to Jeff and the leadership of Sunrun, they figured out a little way around that. But again, you got to be ready to take the field consultant position pretty serious to deal with all of this. That's why if field consultant is not truly your thing, and Jeff was talking about, kind of taking something serious, if field consultant is not really for you and you just want to make some extra side money, then you want to be a referral agent. Are you guys with me on that? Everybody understand? Okay. So, really quickly, you got to know that every single transaction that we do, it doesn't matter whether you're a field consultant or a referral agent, you're going to have to use our preliminary submission form. Now, the preliminary submission form is what connects iLeverage to Sunrun. So this is just a quick little video that I made. You go to the app, and you'll see the app has a new section, iLeverage Green down here. And then you have the iLeverage preliminary submission form. It's a Google form, okay? And you put all of the pertinent information in there, including your information, the customer's information. You will even be able to, if you're a referral agent, not a field consultant, but a referral agent, you'll actually be able to choose who your field consultant is that you're working with, and you'll select them on the list. Look, there's Noah Wilson. You're on there, son. You're on there. All right. And then you even want to submit a copy of the bill. To keep it simple, guys, that's how simple this is. If you could just get a copy of their power bill, then pretty much the rest can be handled. But you have to be professional at getting the power bill, all right? And you just input all the information. Mark Sonoras and some of you guys that I've met for the first time this weekend are on there. We put all of you guys on there. If any of you guys are field consultants and we haven't put your name on the list, please let me know. But you can even update or upload the power bill, a copy of the power bill on the app. And what happens is our good friend Brianna will take that information and she will input it in our system and submit it to Sunrun. And then you will get notified that you have a customer to work on in the Sunrun application. Okay, I know it's a little involved, but you'll get it. What's most important about this is to understand that we have a preliminary submission form that you have to put all the information in first before you do anything on the Sunrun side. All right? So here's just, a couple things that you want to know. When you become an agent of Sunrun, when you get on their side, this is just a taste of like all of the resources and information that they provide us so we're successful with solar. This is called Okta. Okay, they introduce a new term to you called Okta. And Okta. I know, it's crazy. And then you have all of these resources here, all of this kind of stuff. And then you have all of these training. Anybody ever sold solar before? How many guys are brand new to solar? Like, how do you spell solar, right? Anybody know what I'm talking about? That's me. I don't know. Solar, the sun. I guess solar means sun, right? So the good news is they provide you with all of this information so you know exactly what you're doing. You are not going to be thrown to the wolves to just kind of, figure it out along the way. They actually take this pretty serious that you are a professional and know what you're doing. New hire requirement trainings. There's a lot of modules you got to take. Let me just say with some experience so far. Some people, they come in and they go, oh my God, I'm ready. I got a client right now. I forget all of the training and modules and all of the stuff. I just need to learn how to submit this deal right now. Guys, it doesn't work that way. You can't do it. It doesn't work that way. You gotta know what's up. And remember, if you're in California, your name doesn't even sign the deal in California until you get your HIS license. You guys with me on that? All right. Last couple things. iLeverage and Sunrun, the premier partnership. We ask that you respect this relationship between iLeverage and Sunrun. This is not a small deal. I don't even know how many premier, they literally, when we say premier, we're not just using that term just because it sounds cool. They told us that we had a premier relationship with them. That's something that they actually take really serious. So that's what we have with Sunrun, and that's what that's all about. So any quick questions, Q&A? This probably won't be very detailed if you got some questions, just because there's not enough time, but does anyone have any general questions about this? You, sir.
The states that we're operating in?
We are operating in 22 out of the 50 states. I'll just rattle off a couple of them. You guys can help me with this. California, Texas, Nevada, Hawaii, Florida, Arizona, New Mexico, Puerto Rico, and then there's some East Coast states. New Jersey, New York, I think. Massachusetts. Okay. Yes, sir.
If any damages are done to the roof, will Sunrun cover it?
Yes. So this is a good question to ask. A very, very good question. So when someone gets solar, remember we have what's called the PPA. That's the Purchase Power Agreement. This means that the customer doesn't actually even own the solar panels. Sunrun does. You just agree to put it on your roof. So who owns the panels? Sunrun. Are they concerned about their investment on your roof? Yeah. So they actually guarantee the solar panels on your roof for the life of the panels or for the 25-year contract. And if any damages or anything happen, they come out and fix it. And it's guaranteed to produce the power that they say it's going to produce. If for some reason the meter says that it's not doing what they said it was going to do, they will come out and redo the system so it does exactly what they guaranteed to do. Yes, sir?
Do they have to cancel PG&E?
No, you don't. You stay with PG&E as because PG&E is the grid, so you're still on PG&E. But for the power that your solar panels is producing, you are paying Sunrun directly for that. Okay? Yes, sir.
Is it only private, residential, or is commercial?
Oh, very good question. Here's the thing. We are a residential solar company. Residential solar. If, and I know some of you guys are dealing with this already, if you want to do commercial, that's like something like they call that taboo or something. Like, don't worry about commercial because there's a lot of regulations, there's a lot of stuff that you got to do, and I think they said the average time for a commercial deal is 1 year, where residential is 1 month. And as a commercial, apparently we have to farm that out to someone else, so your commission it's not the same as what we showed you here today. Like I think, what was Mo? Mo was saying something like there's a commission's like $100 after doing a whole deal. I mean, so you can maybe do commercial, but it appears that when you do commercial, it's not the same kind of incentive or excitement level with it. Okay? Question? Yes, sir.
Sorry for asking a lot of questions.
Sorry, you're asking good ones.
So in California, people who have electrical cars get a discount on their monthly bill. So for the solar panels, will it cancel out that discount, or will it let them have a lower rate on the electrical bill?
Solar is just meant to lower their kilowatt hour rate. Okay. So whatever else they got going on, that's what they're doing. But if you got electrical vehicles and all that kind of stuff, that's great, because now that you have a lower bill, you're probably not going to need that kind of extra program. Here.
So if I have my Sunrun equipment on my roof and for whatever reason it stops working, am I able to pick up PG&E to cover me until that stuff gets working again, or am I just not?
Yes, it's automatic, because you don't technically leave PG&E. You're still on the grid, and remember, PG&E will still charge you for all of their little, I call them BS fees. You look at your bill and there's a whole bunch of fees outside of the power that you use. They're still going to charge you all that. So the customer might still see a $15 charge for all the BS fees. Also, if you got solar panels and for some reason you neglected to tell the guy that you were putting a hot tub in, right? And we had some great summer, and you guys are partying it up in the hot tub, and it was all good. Well, in that case, you might be using more power than you designed your solar panels for, and so therefore you might have a little extra that you need to pay PG&E. And they might either charge you that monthly, or at the end of the year, they call it a true-up, where you owe PG&E all of the money that was over and above what you paid for in solar. Yes, sir.
Randy, if someone said, I don't want any kind of power bill at all, and I have the money to just purchase panels, can I do that and then not have a power bill?
That's a great question. Guys, the purchase power agreement is only one of our offerings. We still offer a full buyout of solar, which that's really cool. I think in Hawaii we got a few of those going on right now. So we have full buyout, lease options, loan options. We got all kind of stuff. So yes, to answer your question.
Just as before we found out about this, Kim and I last year in the fall purchased solar from a different company, and we recently had the ability to pay it off entirely. Now our PG&E bill is about $15 to $25 a month, and that's only because we have heat, which is gas, and our stove is gas.
That's great.
So we still got to pay for gas.
Yeah, you still got to pay for gas. You'll still get your PG&E for gas and stuff like that.
Down from 300.
Wow. Down from 300 to 25. So imagine talking to your customer and you do the design for them, and you take their bill down $100, $200, $300. Now, how do you think that customer now feels about you, that you helped them save that kind of money? And you didn't collect any money from them. They love, right? Anybody like to be loved, right? Offer them solar. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, so I have two questions.
Yes.
One, can you do these solar panels on roofs where people live in mobile homes? And two, what about people who live in apartment complexes? How does that work here?
Okay, so it's a no for the mobile homes. No. It's a no, and definitely a no for apartments. This is for single-family resident type of thing.
If the owner owns a condo and they want to put solar on the condo and there's people renting the condo, they can't do that.
They can do that. However, depending on the situation, that might be considered commercial too. Depending, like in Hawaii, because I guess of some of the different types of housing there, you might have a multiple unit structure, but they consider it single-family residence, even though it might be multiple people in there. But that's not the case in California. It's a different kind of situation that might be considered commercial in California.
That's 4+.
4+, yeah. Mm-hmm. Question? I mean, call this other guy over here, okay? Yes, sir.
So my question, what is the reason to ask the customer how much their usage for the month and what this number? Why just go whatever you're using, you're gonna pay for it? Why they have to start with a number? Like if you use 1,000 kilowatts,
yeah,
you have to put 1,000 kilowatts. If you use more, they're gonna charge you as a PG&E cost. If it's low, you're gonna be safe. How come they just open to the customer, let them, whatever they're using, they're gonna charge you for it?
It's a good question.
I'm not sure if I understand.
He's asking you to calculate how many panels you're going to use. Yes. You got to design the system.
So if you don't have enough, if you're using too much power
system.
and they can't put enough panels, then it's not going to really work for you to save you money. So they're not going to say it's going to save you money. It's not.
Okay, because
I'm sorry, I think his question was, what if you're gone for a while and your use is next to nothing for the month? Why am I still paying the same amount versus it would be lower because I didn't use a lot of power that month? Is that right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, when you get solar, it's based on your average usage. So they'll take either 1 month, or if you have 12 months, that'll be even more helpful. But they design the system based on your average usage. So when we determine your average usage, we'll construct a design of how many panels you need. And once you have that, then you're locked into that average usage because that's how much you averagely use. So it shouldn't change anymore from your average. So that's why we give you an average design for your average billing. And then that should be close to what you were paying in the first place. Or at least it should be providing you with the same amount of power that you were using in the first place.
Hey, Randy, if a customer, that's a great question, by the way. If we design it too low, then the true up, meaning that the money you pay PG&E is going to be higher at the end of the year.
Yes.
So it's important that the person doing the solar overestimates if a person's going to buy an electric car, put a sauna in their house or a jacuzzi or whatever, or has a pool, but they didn't use it all year because they were just not swimming. So depending on the usage of the energy, if a person doesn't tell the representative that they're not going to add any more things, then we could underestimate, and then the true up bill, they may complain.
Yes.
So you want to overestimate, and you have the ability to go over 100% offset of their usage. So let's say, for example, PG&E pays 100%, you can set it for 150%, so he never goes over it and never touches PG&E at all. But if they don't use that much, they could be paying additional kilowatts on solar they may not have to pay for because they're overpaying for the solar kilowatt.
Yeah, and just a weird story that happened right before my wife and I got in the car to leave to come here yesterday to San Francisco. We had a Sunrun guy come to our house, knocking on doors. And it's ironic, but it turns out that he went to my brother-in-law house first, who sent him to us, but the thing is he told us that my brother-in-law, at the end of the year, my brother-in-law has solar on his house, and he told us that the guy that did the solar on my brother-in-law's house didn't do a good job. He underestimated the power. So he underestimated the power, so he didn't give him sufficient panels to not give him sufficient kilowatt hours. And so now my brother-in-law has a huge true up at the end of every year. This all just happened right before we came here, and we learned that it's extremely important to make sure you have the right design of panels.
So if something like that happens, can you have them come back and put more panels?
Yeah. Yeah, the solar company will be, more than happy to come out.
You'll also get an additional commission for the additional panels and the additional power being used.
Imagine that. Yes, sir.
I think I'm going to ask the same question, but in a different way.
Okay.
So in Nevada, they have what's called the equal payment plan set up. So they'll actually, the power company actually takes your average usage, and they go, instead of having a $400 bill in the summer, we're just going to charge, and $100 bill in the winter, we're going to charge you this equal amount all year long.
That's right.
But there's a running total balance of money owed against what I actually use.
That's right.
Okay? So my question, and I think it is the same question, but a different way, like I said, am I in a contract now to pay a set amount every month, regardless of power usage, to Sunrun?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, you are set. You are set. Now, here's the thing, and this might get a little technical, and you guys tell me about. You guys, we're going to hear from Mark Sonoris here in just a second, but here's what's going to happen. When you have two options to give to a customer. Okay, two options. One, you can give them a flat, no changing rate on their solar. Okay, it's like you can just set it up to where they just fixed. That's the word I was thinking of. A fixed rate for the lifetime of the contract. Okay, or you can give them what might be considered a starter rate, really low, that increases a little bit every year. 2.9% every year. Okay, it starts really low. Now the key here is this. Electricity from PG&E, I'll just use that as an example. We already know that that's going up every year, and it's a lot more than 2.9% per year. You guys agree with me on that, right? What PG&E is charging us every year, the rates go up every year, it's a lot more than 2.9%. If you got them on solar at a 2.9 starter rate, it's still going to go up a little bit, but it's not going to go up as much as PG&E. You guys with me on that? Now, if that's a consideration, like, well, I don't want my bill to go up at all, and I'm going to live here in this house forever. I just want a fixed rate that never changes forever. Well, then you could do that. It might start a little higher, even though lower than PG&E, but it'll be fixed for the lifetime of the contract, 25 years. And that's really for people to say, hey, I found my last home, right? I'm going to stay here forever. Then you might consider giving them a fixed rate. I hope all of that kind of helps a little bit. I know it's a lot. Yes, sir.
Is there any special kinds of roofs that you guys will not touch?
Yes.
The shape.
Yes, we will not touch. It's called CalPack or something like that. It's a roof that's made of like some kind of metal composite, and also the roof has to be relatively, new. It can't be some old dilapidated roof. Okay, so that we will look at the type of roof that there is, and the power box, where all your stuff in there, with the switches, that's got to be up to date too. If that's old, then they will not do solar. However, they will give you the option to fix all that stuff and just charge you a fee for fixing it all and bringing you up to code. Okay?
And it includes underwriting costs.
It'll be at a cost. You will have to pay for that kind of stuff. Up front, yes.
On top of that question, because I used to work in construction, so once a person does their roofs, where they buy the shingles have a warranty. So will it cancel out the warranty when he has to install the solar panels? Because certain shingles say that you're not supposed to have anything penetrate the shingles or cancel out whatever you do.
That's a good question.
It comes through the site inspection.
We'll do a site inspection.
There's a warranty exchange conversation that happens.
A warranty exchange conversation that happens. There's got to be something that goes on there because, at the end of the day, with the site inspection, the guys with the solar, they're going to tell the customer, here's what we're looking at. And if the customer says, well, let me check with my roofer first before, and if it doesn't work out, then it just doesn't work out, Sir.
Quick question, sell a house at the 10th year, what happens?
So it depends on the type of panel setup you have. If you have the PPA, which is the purchase power agreement, you are agreeing, and this is the one where you don't have to collect any money from the customer. You are agreeing to have your solar panels on your roof for 25 years, even if you move. If you move, you sell your house, the new homeowner for that particular program has to agree they'll have to qualify. Thank you. The new homeowner will have to qualify for the PPA going forward for the purchase with that roof.
Now my real estate brain is tapping in. So
Yes.
with that being said, would there have to be a disclosure when someone sells the property that the new owner is aware of that and knowing that they would have to?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, when you sell the home as a real estate agent, the actual solar company has to get in there somewhere to protect their investment of the solar panels on that roof. So there is a conversation that has to happen there. Yes, sir.
This is slightly off topic, but as a field consultant, is there like an override with onboarding new agents?
No. No, there isn't. When you sign up as a field consultant, here's what I'm going to suggest that you do. If you have other agents that want to participate in solar with you, then make them referral agents. You see? Make them referral agents, and then what you will do is just give them a referral fee. Okay? So make them referral agents, and then you give them a referral fee.
Yeah, it's not a multi-tiered compensation. Sunrun does not participate in multi-tier compensation plans, so it's a direct contract with Sunrun. So there's no multi-tier compensation. It's not multi-level. They don't want to.
So let me, Casey just brought up a good question. Thanks, Jeff.
You gotta go quick.
Okay. How do you qualify to become a field consultant? I know we talked about that a little bit, but if you're going to become a field consultant, it is a conversation that you will have to have with your ELC. Is that what you're looking for, Casey? You will have to qualify. You have to have a conversation with your ELC, and we have to have a sit-down talk and figure out if this is really what you want to do. I'm just going to let you guys know, if you're just trying to say, hey, I just want to get a little extra money, we are more trying to urge you to just consider being a referral agent than a field consultant. The field consultant is quite involved, especially in the beginning. So again, we have a lot of questions and things like that. If you're going to be a field consultant, you'll be able to answer all these questions and more, right? But as a referral agent, you'll just pass the the deal onto someone who's qualified, and then you'll receive a referral fee. Yes, sir.
Okay, this is gonna be more complex. This is gonna be a more complicated question.
Okay.
So, as my family, I can speak for my family. We do construction, right?
Yes.
So let's say if I have somebody install some solar panels in the near future, they say, hey, you know what? I want to add an extra story to my house. So what would be the situation? Do they remove the solar panels for the moment and put it on top? Or?
I think in that situation, you would be having to contact the solar company and make sure that the solar company is involved with the removal and reapplication of the solar panels, because just remember, unless the customer buys the solar panels outright, then they can do whatever they want. But if it's a PPA where you got solar and they didn't have to pay anything, the panels are still Sunruns. So they're going to have to get involved with taking them off and putting them on and all that kind of stuff. And there's certainly going to be a cost to that. Yeah.
What happens after the PPA is over, after the 20 or 25 years?
So first of all, after 25 years is quite a ways down the road, right? So you can renew your contract and start all over again. Nothing changes. They can evaluate or assess the value of the panels. You can buy them outright, and then you own the system completely outright. But one of the things that the guys in Utah told us is just don't do nothing. Because they're going to stay on your roof. They don't come and take them off. They don't come and rip them out. They just leave them there, and you can just keep them. So that's kind of a weird thing there. But you guys ever get DirecTV? Did they ever come and take the little thing off your roof? Right? They never come and take that dang thing off. Mo.
So in most cases, based on what the people said in Utah, is that the cost...
Last question here with Mo, guys.
The cost of, this is just to clarify your question, the cost of the company to come and take off the equipment off your roof after 25 years, but after evaluating the cost of the panels in 25 years, is going to be relatively high than just keeping it on your roof.
Yep.
So they'll probably just let you keep it.
The cost to take the only place that's going to want those panels is a museum.
The cost to take them off is more than they're worth.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Hey, guys, is this exciting stuff, though? Raise your hand if this is exciting stuff. You guys are all getting into the solar industry, and it's because you're part of iLeverage. Again, this doesn't have to mean that you're like a professional solar agent for Sunrun. You're still iLeverage, but now you have just added another very lucrative vertical to your capabilities. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to bring up a quick example here. Mark Senores, this is a good friend of mine. This guy's a great family man. This guy is one of those kind of go-getters. As soon as we were able to do solar, Mark was one of the first guys on the ground referring clients, doing a fantastic job. But he has got some incredible testimonials to share with you. So please help me welcome Mr. Mark Senores.
Oh, thank you. Woo! Oh my gosh, I was over there. I thought I was going to go up like 30 minutes ago. And I told him, I was like, listen, don't ever put me behind Randy, like ever. I'm a huge fan, by the way. Randy isn't he phenomenal? Yeah? That doesn't sound phenomenal. No, Randy's really, really good. I could see by the amount of questions that you guys are all interested, correct? For those who know me, I'm your typical run-of-the-mill financial services guy. I sell life insurance, right? How many of us here sell life insurance? How many people are excited about this new iLeverage green stuff? Oh, 2 of you guys. How many people just don't want to raise their hand? Well, see, here's the thing. Can I get my slides, please? So here's the thing. As agents, and like I said, like the ones who know me, we've been in this industry for quite a bit of time now, right? Can you hear me okay? Quite a bit of time now. And we can join any company. You know, like they said, the 3 acronyms, right? So why does a person like myself work with a company like iLeverage, right? Why do we do these things? Why am I working with iLeverage? Well, let me give you a reason why I choose a company like iLeverage. Number one, vision, right? If you're writing this down, write down vision. Vision. I mean, you have a guy like Mr. Jeffrey Delgado. Give him a hand, guys, for putting this together, by the way. Jeffrey Delgado, he thinks ahead of his time, right? How many people have been called or tried to be recruited on with a company like, with those 3 acronyms, KFC, what is it? Right? Those the 3-letter acronym companies, they try to recruit you. Oh, you should join this, you should join that, you should join this, you should check this out. We do it on a Zoom now, right? But they only offer one product. And what's that product? Life insurance. It doesn't matter, like Randy said, it doesn't matter if it's a bag of glass, right? That's all they're selling. That's all. What makes you different? What makes you, what differentiates you from selling the same product that the other company sells? So I'm going to tell you the reason why I love our company. Is that cool? All right. Number one, yes, field experience. You know, I've been in this industry now for about 2 years because I'm only 21. No, just kidding. I've been in quite a while now with Jeff, Eric Edpow over there, and of course, Randy Wilson and Carlos Quinteros. You know, Carlos and Jeff, these guys are my mentors, right? Back in the day when I was starting off in the industry, they always showed me what's up. I'm like, what? How did you get that number? But they know. So now I've become that guy, okay? So field experience. One, I love the partnership. I love the fact that we were flown out to Utah to, oh my God, to see this amazing, amazing opportunity, especially with Randy Wilson. Give him another hand, guys, because I know Randy was so excited, and I love seeing Randy again. If you guys don't know Randy, now you do, right? So when we went to Utah, and like Randy said, oh my gosh, what an incredible, amazing opportunity. And the reason why I'm so excited about it, and I'm going to tell you guys something real quick. I'm not going to stop selling life insurance. This is not to take over life insurance. This is not to take over our company and just, oh, we're just going to do just solar. It's not that. I'm going to show you why, okay? One, of course, we can still sell life insurance with our company. You can do it all, right? How many people want to do it all? Right? I think I heard this sometime today, a few times. Actually, even Jordan said it. We don't leave any money on the table. Would you like to leave money on the table? Okay, so we do, of course, the life policy and the solar, right? Then now we're doing Medicare. Medicare. How many people here are trying to do Medicare? If I show you the 5-year plan, you're going to want to do it. Now, you're like, oh, how do I find clients? Do you have a dad? Do you have parents? Or you don't have parents? You're the only one that don't have parents. Okay, so you have parents, you have grandparents, you have aunties, you have uncles, right? And you got, friends that are pretty old. Just kidding. Seasoned is what they like to be called. And then we have our financial advising side. You ever meet anyone that says, hey, I work for a dental company, and we're looking to have a 401k, some sort of retirement. You know who you call up? That man right there. Raise your hand, Thomas. That man, if you raise that, you call that guy up, he'll come over. He'll fly right over and do an appointment. He's done it plenty of times for us, right? Set up a retirement plan for that company. And guess what? We are now legal to get paid for it, too. Is that pretty cool? Okay, one guy. I'm losing it. One guy, my biggest fan right there. So let me show you this first, because this is the proof in the pudding, okay? And I'm going to be really, really quick, because meet Mr. and Mrs. Jones. These were actual clients of mine. You see what they're doing? They're ripping up their PG&E bill because they were so excited for what? No, they're not excited for solar. The savings. They were excited for the savings that they're about to receive because of the simple fact now they're going to have full control of their power. Well, 98%, right? But guess what? They'll never, ever be interrupted again. They live in Vallejo, California. You know where that's at? That's in Solano County. You know what they're getting ready to do over in Solano County? How many people live near that area? Oh, okay, sort of. He lives there, right? They're ready to do what they call a rolling schedule blackout because of the fire season every year. You want your house to have no electricity, right? How many people own refrigerators? Just 4 people. You guys still use ice boxes. Okay, cool. But imagine you guys having to make sure your food is on ice because you have no electricity for your refrigerator to keep your food cool. We dealt with that last year and the year before that. As a matter of fact, they dealt with it in Texas for weeks, right? So imagine that, guys. So now I'm going to show you the proof. So let me show you. So that client of mine, I went over there to do their life policy, right? They said, hey, Mark, we wanted life insurance. Sure, not a problem. They're in their 60s, right? Mid to high 60s. And, of course, at that point, life insurance is no longer cheaper, right? It's no longer inexpensive. It's very expensive, as a matter of fact. But we got to get them down to $250, right? But check this out. They're like, man, we're kind of cutting it really, really thin. So I said, well, let me see your electric bill. So now I'm looking at their electric bill, and guess what? I'm saving them more money, right, through their electric bill. And look at this, $7,500. And then in October, guess what I'm going to do with them in October? So what is that? For Medicare. In October, open enrollment, man, this right here by itself, this is how much you can make per appointment. Is that pretty good? You guys are rich already. You guys don't care, huh? That's almost $14,000 in one appointment. And you can knock out all 3. And as a matter of fact, if they want like a retirement plan, you know what else you can do? Call Thomas, right? But look at that. 3 products, 1 appointment. Fat check. Is that good? All right, that's my time, guys. Thank you for having me up here.
Hey, guys, give Big Mark a big round of applause. You guys, we have lots of stories like that, though. The stories are starting to come in where people are doing the multiple services in one household, 1 appointment. Is that exciting, yes or no? Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, hey, listen, let's bring up the next gentleman. You guys know Dondi. I just got a chance to meet him recently, and I just love how committed and dedicated this guy is to excellence. Give a big round of applause for Mr. Dondi Reyes.
Wasn't the second half wonderful? Well, I told you guys were in for something. Unprecedented. You heard me in the first half. If you weren't here, I was talking about how iLeverage, we are at the forefront. What we are doing is unprecedented. The array of services that we have in our company is immense. No one's doing this. None of these 3-letter acronyms are doing solar. They wouldn't even know what to do with it, right? Like, Dondi, what does solar have to do with financial services? Well, I'm going to recap. You saw some of the slides earlier, but I'm going to recap, and then I'm going to close this out, all right? You good with that? All right. For me, because I'm very particular when I sit in front of my clients, my client base personally is very complex. I have a lot of business owners. We have doctors. We have lawyers. And I just can't come up to them with hype. I've got to bring some content, some validity, and be able to be congruent with our financial principles. Does that make sense? Okay, so financial integrity is very important, and I'm sure it's very important with all of you as well. And when I brought this up to a few of my friends, they're like, well, Don, you're doing solar, but wait, what does that have to do with your agency in Millbrae? I said, a lot, right? So let's do this. This is the slide that you saw earlier, but I want you to take another look at it because it is. Solar is a financially sound decision. It's a very sound decision. You heard what Mark was talking about. These folks are in their retirement years. You're on a fixed income, and I'll get to that. Solar is a low-risk, high-reward investment. You heard Randy talking about that earlier, right? See, we're being repetitive, right? Repetition transfers the skill from the conscious to the subconscious. We do that in the military. It's a little mind game. I don't know if many of you know, I was a drill sergeant. I spent 2 years in the Army. I'd spent 14 years in the Marine Corps. So I did a lot of mind games. You know, what do you call it? The Klingon trick. Number 3, it frees up capital. And that's what Mark did. Did you see Mark's example? He freed up capital so they could afford or apply money towards their life insurance and also to their Medicare eventually. That makes sense as well, right? All right. And lastly, they're about to retire. So it's another great example. They're going to be on a fixed income. 62, you get Social Security for some. 65, you get something else. You get retirement. Military, you might be on retirement because you retired early. But still, you're on a fixed income. You want something to be predictable. Solar is very predictable. If you guys have detailed questions about solar, we have a great team in here. My background as an architect, I know a lot about solar and how it fits on rooftops when it comes to warranty. So feel free to submit a question, and you can just get our contact information from the company, okay? Let's move forward, and then we'll get you guys home. But then, realize, everyone, timing's everything. This is what the megatrend thing is about. There was coal before, coal to electricity, electricity to solar. Solar's a megatrend. When things happen, right? Elon's sending somebody to Mars pretty soon. That's a megatrend. We got to be ready. Don't put your head in the sand. And then you saw this, Warren Buffett. He's so key. If you are in the financial services industry and you present something to your client about what Warren Buffett said, most of my clients go, what? Are you serious? If he said it, man, I'm doing it. I'm going to buy Bitcoin? Okay, yeah, whatever. Right? Jeff asked me to close out, but before I do, I want to express our sincerest gratitude to such a wonderful family, the Delgado family. I mean, when I work with Jeff day to day, I come home so inspired. And when he came up with this event, he goes, Donnie, we should do something in May. I said, really? Yeah, let's just do it. And you imagine just having that vision, let's just do it, and this happens. There was a lot of orchestration, a lot of, elbow grease. I was doing the heat press. A lot of fun, though. I mean, I got to know Randy really well. We went to Utah, and I'm telling you, to sit down with a billionaire who is dressed up like he just came from, I don't know, from the beach in Colorado, in Utah with snow in the mountains. It was freezing there, by the way. But to have that vision and for Jeff to develop and build this and send us along our way to make this all happen, special thanks to like Nate, Mr. Basher, for putting up the AV. Give him a hand. And to DJ Mark. All the speakers today, weren't they great? Congratulations to all the rising stars, the VIPs that were recognized as well. You all deserve it. And I know many more of you do who didn't get called up. We know what's going on. What's really great about Jeff and the rest of the leadership is that we're always looking at the numbers. We're always looking at the families. We're always looking at things beyond what you might think we're thinking. Are they okay? They lost a relative to COVID. It doesn't just go with business. It goes with family as well. So I'm really impressed with the ties we have with the Delgado family, and I'm super thankful. Jeff, do you want to give any last words? Sure, why not? Let's go. Yeah, let's give it up for Jeff. Close it up, bro. Thanks, brother.
Hey, real quick. I'm going to go home. We got to get out of the room. So a couple things. There's a towel on the table, all right? We are pushing you to get healthy this year. Is that cool? So the towel is for you to work out and sweat on it. Is that all right? So take a towel home with you and promise when you use it, you're working out, all right? How many of you are pretty excited about all this? Noel, you're excited? If you do me a favor, if you haven't downloaded the app, download it now. If you have a referral that you want to make money on right now, put it in the app. Pick a field consultant. We're going to take care of you. Make sure you get your referral fee. If you want to be a consultant, you got to get a hold of Brianna as soon as possible, okay? Don't overwhelm her because she's already losing it a little bit as well. Is that cool? But I am excited. I want to thank all of you. Thank Dondi for a great job. One slide I want to say, we're putting together incentive trips. There's a lot of money to be made for all of you. You guys excited about that? I'd like to put together a plan where everybody's driving Teslas. With gas prices the way they are today, you probably wish you had a Tesla now, don't you? But you don't. So what did you wait for? You waited. Again, paying for gas. How much is gas right now? $5? And you're complaining about solar. And so we're trying to have a Tesla allowance. So when you start making money, get yourself a Tesla, and then also some trips. These are the trips that my wife has been dying to go on. So how would you guys let's all go together? Would that be cool? So this next 90 days, I'm going to say this to you. You're going to probably see 3 or 4 people that are been on stage that will probably break 200,000 in 90 days. You understand? Like Mark is on. You don't understand. You guys don't get it because you're not feeling the love yet. Okay. Mark and Dondi, those guys are on pace to make a $25,000 a week business just with their current clients. We're not talking about them, canvassing around. We're talking just their current clients will just buy from them because they're insurance agents. Your clients will buy from you. So don't realize, don't think that it can't happen. But are you guys excited about it? You guys excited? We got to get out of the room. So I just wanted to say thank you guys. God bless all of you. Have a safe trip driving home. Enjoy your weekend. And again, thank Nate, John, all you guys that came from all over the world, the country, the Bay to get here. Hey, you have a good day, guys. Thank you so much.